Welcome to the DLLS Stars Watch Along for Game 4 here on both YouTube and Victory Plus. The DLS Stars Watch Along is brought to you by, along with all of our Stanley Cup playoff coverage, Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy responsibly. And by Happiest Hour, your home base and the best place to catch the NHL playoffs and cheer on the Dallas Stars. Just steps away from the AAC, the ultimate spot with 50-plus beers and 40-plus TVs. For all the big moments every single game day, Happiest Hour, your favorite spot for the Stanley Cup playoffs. And before we get to tonight's main event and the panel here for game number 4, there's one last chance for the ball knower bonus. Hit the link in the chat or on the YouTube description right away and select whether you think that Mikko Rantanen will get a point or not in game 4 tonight. Then browse our merch store and make a purchase of at least $25. If your pick wins, you'll win a gift card for the same amount as your original order. Here's the thing. You have to click that link, whether it's in the chat or in the show YouTube description, to bet and get your gift card. So again, all you ball knowers out there, make your pick, then place an order. If you pick correctly, you'll get a gift card from us for the same amount as your order. That's the ball knower bonus. And you can get the Jake Ottinger Otter shirt, which looks fantastic. You can get the Finnish Mafia shirt. You can get one of the maybe Jamie Benn shirts, the captain or the moose, the Wyatt Johnston 16-bit. I know my younger son wanted the finisher shirt. He thought that one was pretty cool. Whatever it is, go out there. It doesn't have to just be those. It can be anything on the DLS merchandise store. Check those out and do the ball knower bonus. You better hurry. The puck drop is only a couple minutes away. You think so? Welcome in Brent Severyn from Victory Plus. He thinks the Moose is getting points tonight. Well, there you go. Sevy's all ready to go. And then, of course, we've got Craig Ludwig here who's working on said charcuterie board. John Anderson is our producer tonight. He'll be here all night as well. Thank you for joining us. All right, Sevy. Luds and I had lots of time to break this down, but what's your take on Roope Hintz? He's in the lineup tonight. We know for sure now he will play. Dodonov will be scratched.
Yeah, you guys showed in the pregame show him skating around, and after he was done, those particular
Somehow Sevy's mic is completely dead. So, Luds want to share. There you go. Just go. Oh, he was just unplugged. Just like Luds in our last game, it gets spun around about 1 billion times.
It's the people that use it before we get here.
Yeah, it's definitely not our show. But John is getting some much-needed camera time. So there he is. There's John over there.
All right, you let me know.
All right, Luds, or Sevy, go right ahead.
I was just saying, after he had that, you showed him doing those tight turns in the corner coming out of there. You can see he's kicking his foot a little bit. He's in a lot of pain. There's no question about that. Whatever he has, he's going to have to fight through, but we've all done it. You have to do it, and it's an important time, important game. Luds was talking about as well. You need him in the lineup. No matter what happens moving forward, you need this game, and that's going to continue your push to hopefully win this series.
We kind of alluded to this in the pregame, but we didn't spend a lot of time because we had a whole bunch of stuff to do. The difference between 3-1 down coming back for game 5 and 2-2 reclaiming home ice advantage. It's massive. It's not do or die, but it feels like it.
Feels like it. And the thing with the Stars is we haven't seen them be able to take control at large times in this game, even though it's second period, right? But other than that, they just need a little bit more. They need their top guys going. That's why you need Roope in the lineup. That's why you need Duchesne scoring. You need some guys, and I think that you talked about it, Luds, in the pregame show, that you got to get your top dogs going because their top dogs are going, and they were really at the forefront of last game.
Yeah, when you say their top dog, Sevy, and you're talking about
McDavid.
McDavid, Draisaitl. Bouchard's been playing great, right? I mean,
you think? You look at points per game. There's only one player in the history of the NHL that has more points per game as a defenseman, Bobby Orr.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy that he's putting those kind of numbers up.
And I was not a fan of him. Now he's playing at both ends of the rink, though. I think a little bit better because watching him as he comes in the league, and he kind of reminded me a little bit of Klinger at times, right? I mean, just from a standpoint of maybe not so dialed in defensively, but man, he can make things happen offensively. But he's been playing great for him. And the reason I think it's so important, this isn't like playing any other team if you would be down 3 games to 1 because of those guys.
Yep.
Because of those 2 superstars. The other thing is, we mentioned it in the pregame show, is that over the last couple of seasons, these guys in games 4, 6, and 7 are 16-2. So they obviously somehow raise their level You know, we'll see. So, you know, these guys, you're looking at Jake, and so these guys got to be ready tonight, and hopefully there's a better job done in front of Jake and around Jake tonight.
You were talking about Bouchard, sorry. It's
Nope,
it's also
don't
about
apologize.
The system.
That's what we're here for.
It's about the system they have. When they're dropping everybody back, it's pretty easy to be a offensive-minded defenseman when these forwards come back. How about those forwards coming back and helping, lads? Isn't that a novel?
Yeah, that's a good thought.
What a great thought that is to have those money bags come back and help us out in the back end for a little bit, you know.
It was different back in your both era where many times it was just, the game has started, by the way, we're underway. We should probably turn that on because we're paying attention here. But it was okay to basically have 3-on-2s one way and the other. You know, there wasn't the back checking, but your two defenders were expected to take care of those three forwards coming in.
Wait a second. Did you say it was okay?
Did you hear
him say that?
I was about to stop him, but
I
didn't want to be rude.
I've never personally played for an organization that's okay, guys.
Let me rephrase. It happened all the time, whether or not it was okay or not.
Not on teams I played for. I was, in a defensive, like a Montreal and here Dallas and, things like that. And we had coaches that were very, very adamant about, we don't give up, those outnumbered rushes. So I guess I was just fortunate in that. Sevy, did you have any teams where it was a little bit more wide open? What do they call that?
What?
Hitchcock would always call it fire wagon hockey, and there was no place for it. As defensemen, we don't like it either.
I remember watching during the COVID lockdown, we're all sitting at home. Bally's, I believe it was at the time. I don't think it was Fox. Bally Sports Southwest started replaying all the games from the 99 Cup year, all the playoff games, starting with round 1 against Edmonton and on. And so I went back and watched them because I hadn't watched them all. Maybe watched a few of them when I was 18 or whatever it was, 19. But there were a lot more of those transition plays, even with the red line in and the 2-line pass. There did seem like there were these sort of waves of 3 guys going at 2 defenders, and then it would go the other way.
Did you notice any hooking and holding during those series?
Oh, God.
No, I'm just asking.
The obstruction interference
It's been a while
was
since I've seen that type of hockey.
rampant back
Not many
then.
penalties, though.
No. Oh, man, it was crazy, eh?
Hitching a ride.
I was just watching Rope Hintz here in the first shift and looked okay, battling in front of the net. Those first few shifts.
How about that giveaway there?
Yeah. Those first few shifts, lads, when you're injured and stepping in, it takes a little while to get warmed up.
Yeah, and you got to get your confidence, too. You want to feel good. Feel good and feel, okay, I can push it a little bit more. But, again, he's going to have to fight through some pain. That's all there is to it. There's other guys out here that are fighting through things, too.
And he's done it before, right?
Yeah.
There's been several series. We've seen him in boots.
He gets dinged up every once in a while, doesn't he?
Uh-oh. That's Corey Perry that's down. He's back up. He doesn't look like
Corey Perry's not going to be hurt, right?
Looks like he's grabbing his left or his right arm there.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, I'd say he got it in the midsection. I didn't even see what happened, but I'm guessing just the way he's acting, it's in the midsection. Midsection-ish.
Oh, back.
I don't know what he got.
That's back, yeah.
Oh, he just skated into him.
Well,
Yeah,
Granlund allowed him to skate into.
he sure did.
I've got my eyes. I don't know. I don't know where he's going.
Right? There we go. Oh, yeah. Lads, that's what you and I were talking about, right? After you talked to the pregame show, getting maybe some movement in front of the net, getting the puck behind the net, creating some wraparounds, quick passes in tight.
First thing I noticed is Tyler.
Sagan's
speed. Yep.
He didn't even see that.
Is that a good thing or a bad? Is that a good sign or bad sign, Toby?
I think that's a bad sign.
Okay. Well, this is a start you're looking for, though.
Yep.
Draw a penalty.
Nice.
Penalty coming.
Oh, jeez.
Woo.
Oh. Oh.
There's the whistle.
You notice Rope there wanted to slide off to the side. He wasn't too interested in staying in the front of the net. Well, and that's kind of where he's been, on the power play. We'll see if he sets up there.
That's one thing I want to see from Duchesne a little bit more. Like, he's great on the perimeter stuff. He's really good at puck protection. Let's start taking that junk to the middle a little bit, eh?
Yeah, I think
get a little beat up, right, like he did there.
I think they've done a good job of keeping him away from the area that he likes to be, which is on the right wing side where he can pull up and make those passes. So there's hints right in front of
you
the
got to
net.
recognize if you're pulling up and making those passes and they're not working, right?
Right.
You better start. As a defenseman, Luds, right? It's easy to watch that guy come down and do his twirl every time.
Yep.
It's not dangerous.
I didn't see any shots yet. Is there a shot clock up here? Didn't they get like 3-4 shots here at the start of the game?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't see what they put
Yeah,
up.
both
I haven't
sides.
seen anything.
Yeah, they haven't put that up yet. The official game sheet has them at 3-2 Dallas right now.
Taking the drop pass away. See how we spread out? Like, when you don't have, I want to see guys come over and support everybody and make sure you get control of the puck so that you get to your spots.
And you're talking initially when it enters the zone.
When they enter the zone, let's just make sure we get complete control. I don't like it when you're on the power play and there's more dark jerseys around the puck area than there are your own color.
You learned that junior in college hockey, right? Outnumber the men down low in the corner.
Yep. Do you watch any of that major junior stuff?
I have
lately?
not. No.
Yeah, I watched London play the other night, and I don't know what happened last night. I don't know if it's last night or tonight.
I think there's a game tonight, Memorial Cup.
Memorial Cup. It might be London
I think
and
Medicine Hat, maybe?
Yes, those two. Apparently, guess who I was texting with last night?
Who?
Greg Button.
Come on.
Yeah, I was watching the game. Actually, I was at the Great Blue Goose, Gray Goose. I don't know what the hell it's called. Some goose
Something
bar.
Goose?
Something Goose, and all of a sudden I was watching
Grey
the
Goose is
game,
vodka.
and
Grey Goose
there's
is
Butt
vodka.
sitting up in the front row up there in the rafters, and because I noticed the name Sim on one of the players.
Simmers.
And it made me think of John Sim.
Oh.
And so former Dallas Star, and I sent Butts a message. I said, is there any chance that player is related to John Sim? And he goes, yes, he is. And I said, and he had a little laughing emoji. And then my only response was, I'm hoping the apple didn't fall far from the tree on that one or roll all the way down the hill. And he goes, oh, no, they're the same. So I thought, okay, that's all you need to know.
Oh, and John Sim is the only guy who got shaved after a playoff run, after winning a Stanley Cup. He was such a character. Keener shaved his head.
Come on.
Yep.
Did he do the whole mask and scalpel, the whole doctor's
Oh,
bit?
no.
The old young
He just
blood
said,
move?
Simmer, come here.
Yeah.
And he just buzzed him. I don't even remember why, but Simmer was such a funny guy.
He's been brought up a lot on this show lately or around
Simmer
this.
has?
You have. Yeah, you've mentioned him 3 or 4
Yep.
times.
Have I really?
I think so.
Yeah, last
Oh,
game.
I didn't know that.
His name's out in the ether.
They're like, what was
man,
that
it's
kid's
something
name?
else.
It was Simmer.
Just something else. Simmer was the kind of player where there needed to be a league in the middle because he could tear up the American League, and when he came here,
He was one of those 4A guys, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Boy, I was going back to look, guys, for this early chance. Before the power play, Sagan went for a wraparound, and he missed.
Missing that one
And
across the front.
Duchesne got it and fired it and hit the post. I thought Skinner had it at first.
Oh,
Look
there's
at
another
that.
chop on the foot.
Oh, Bouchard going after him.
Look at that.
That's not a
my
not a
guess
surprise,
is
right?
my guess is something else happened prior to that
You think?
because Marchman didn't do anything. Marchman looked at it as, okay, that's payback. I'm sure Mush did something.
You're talking about an eye for an eye here.
Yeah.
Aye.
That's a 3-on-2. All right.
Look at this.
Boy, it's always scary when those guys go flying at you.
No. That was no penalty. Thanks, folks.
Yeah. And Hintz was kind of in a tough spot there. He's trying to let go. Like you're in no man's land there. As far as
go, Sagan.
There you go. No.
Oh, my gosh. Had him again.
Boy, Skinner was all over the place there, guys.
Jeez. They're being liberal with everything, huh, folks?
Yeah.
Just get it to the net. Late guy.
Boy, and there's Hyman just hovering around the crease again.
They do come back hard into their own zone, though, don't they?
Oilers,
They got
Oh, my
that
God.
late guy. They
Every time.
turn even number rushes into outman rushes, and they get numbers in their favor.
That's the biggest difference I saw with this team since seeing them in the regular season.
Where they collapse now? Yeah.
Dallas is skating, though. They're skating.
And look at that. We've gotten to the halfway point of the first period, and that's media timeout number 1 because the power play and then the nonstop. We're looking at a hit here between Marchman and Hyman.
Well, Hyman goes down the tunnel.
Right to the shoulder, huh?
That'd be too bad, wouldn't it?
All right, media timeout here on Victory Plus and, of course, on YouTube. And it means time for Luds to go for another cheese platter.
Oh, I thought I had something to read.
No,
Oh, no.
yeah, you don't have to do the Mando read right now.
I don't know what the hell's going on in my computer.
Allie says you called it, Luds. They'll be hacking at Rope's foot.
Oh, is she giving us play-by-play? She's up there with her binoculars and telling us that is she at the game?
No, I don't think she's at the game. I don't think anybody is at this game with our watch along open, listening to us instead of the game.
Well, she lives there, isn't Allie from Edmonton?
Yes, but it would be quite something to be at the game and connected with the YouTube watch along.
You just watch it on your phone.
Yeah, theoretically.
What's wrong with that?
Olivia, Stars decided they were actually going to hit in the first period. That's a positive.
I don't know how you'd be able to hear that unless you had an AirPod in.
Yeah. There's people that sit at games and they're listening to
The radio?
Yeah,
I agree. Okay, maybe they are. Maybe you just got to hear Luds and Sevy talk about the game.
Well, she came up one day and she met everybody. That's the lady.
Who did?
Allison, yeah.
Where?
Up in the perch where we are. She
Oh,
came
in
by.
Edmonton.
No,
Yeah,
here. In
Oh, here.
Texas, yeah.
Yeah?
She came out and said hi.
She's not at the game.
She's not at the game.
Do we have any questions, John? Anybody ask us any questions? So
No, that's why I'm feeding
Sevy
you the
can answer
comments
'em?
that you're not reacting to.
Allie says it's not safe for her at a Stars game. Just go up by Sam. That big bodyguard Sam.
Another penalty here. Looks like it's
Same
against
again.
Dallas.
Ouch.
Well, let's find out if Hyman's out here. If he's not, he's still in the room. He's still in the room.
Is 37.5% good on the power play, Luds? I think that's what it
I
is.
think that's pretty good, Sevy.
And almost 60% on the face-offs in this series. And there's another one.
See, that little play right there by Steele, where he gathers it and wants to take off with it, like kill the penalty first. Send it down. They don't get that
Don't
opportunity.
get caught from behind.
Yeah, and you know, because he wants to probably, you know, try to make a play and go down and just make sure you kill the penalty first, and it ends up back in your own zone for 10 seconds. Now they're giving him the puck all the time, even when they shouldn't.
That's it. Wyatt.
Well, Perry looks to be okay. No Hyman out there, though.
Oh, my God.
Let me guess. Dreisaitl's home?
Well, he's pretty good.
The office? It's just, he's uncanny from over there.
I was just about to say Lindell is playing him a little bit tighter on that side, and then Heiskanen gets out there and backs off a bit on him.
So that's where I go with that, Sevy, is take their number one, and you wouldn't think that's a number one play, right?
Yeah.
You would think that that's a tough shot to shoot, but he's totally different from there. He's
What a
a
shot
total
that
different
is,
guy.
yeah.
Like, again,
Oh, my God.
if they have a shooting guy, it's him. Make him do something different. That's the frustrating part, right? With the start that Dallas had, you know, and I'm sure it's frustrating for Jamie too, being the guy that
Yep.
had to be in the box for that.
Kind of reminds you of the whole second period the other night where they played really well and didn't have, you know, they ended up still 2 goals down at the end of it.
Yeah, and you know, and speaking of that, when Pete was talking today in the pregame show that you had played, you know, and he said, you know, you're down by a couple goals heading into, and you got to open up a little bit.
Yep.
I don't think you got to open up 4 minutes into the period. You're only down by 2 goals.
Well, and so here's to this point, right? 8 minutes or 8 minutes left in the first period. You played well. You're down by 1. Don't overextend and get caught again, right?
Yeah, but I'm to his point the other night, like you score a goal in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a 1 goal
Be patient.
game. Like, yeah, we open up and we give somebody a breakaway. I guess you'd have to say that if you're an Edmonton fan, you'd probably want to give an assist to Skinner on that power play goal. You know what I mean? Because just the way that he's played the first 10 minutes of the game, especially the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
We have another media timeout here.
Oh, what does that mean? I get another piece of cheese?
You can eat, you can talk. Oilers leading 1-0 here on the Stars DLS watch along.
I love the McJesus
The what?
flag, the McJesus flag.
Yeah. They have a great fan base, don't they?
I was there for the 5 Stanley Cups.
You're Western Canada, right?
I'm from Bakerville. I'm 60 miles east of Edmonton.
Okay.
We had season tickets to this,
Oh, yeah?
and I've been to every parade that they've had.
Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, season tickets, everything. Yeah, I've been there for it all. From them entering in the WHA all the way to Gretzky's era and Gretzky.
So
gone.
how old were you when they won their first cup? What year was that? 82, 83?
82,
No.
yeah.
No, when didn't the Islanders win the first 4 years of the 80s?
They're the ones that
They went
gave
80, 81, because it was right out of the Olympics. Ruzioni and them guys, and then they went and played. And so that would have been the 80 Olympics. So they must have won 80, 81, 82, 83. And then Edmonton was maybe the first one they won was 84?
Yeah, 83, 84.
Was their Edmonton's first?
Yep.
And you've been to every parade.
Yep. Because I played for the University of Alberta too.
Oh, okay.
The college there. We'd always get to skate with them.
Golden Bears?
Golden Bears.
Golden Bears. Remember that.
So my coach, his name is Claire Drake. Those are one of the mentors for a lot of coaches.
Hitch.
Hitch talks about him.
Hitch.
All the time.
Well, he passed away,
DeBoer.
right?
Yep.
Was he a coach at college or?
Yeah, college.
Yeah.
He's probably the winningest college coach in North America. I bet.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Savvy Alley wants to know if you know of Gibbons. It's west of Fort Saskatchewan.
Yes. Of course. Ranfurly, Mundare.
Do you know Claire Drake?
What's that?
See the comment?
Is Gibbons a bar? Sevy?
Yeah,
Is it a
so
bar?
Allie asked if you were coached by Claire Drake. You just
Yes.
talked about it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely coached by Claire
and then
Drake.
she goes, oh, he said it. Ha, ha, ha. She must have been behind on the...
Gosh,
So
no rebounds,
I only ask questions 3 times and I quit. Is
Okay.
Gibbons a bar? 3 different times. Is it a bar or is it a restaurant?
I believe. Well, isn't she talking city? Gibbons?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
It's
city.
town, yeah.
Oh, wow. Who cares? I was a
You
bar.
heard bar and you
I heard-
perked
well,
up finally, yeah.
I just sensed bar. Bar? We'd always go on the other side of town. When we stayed in Edmonton, we'd go across the bridge to the other side of Edmonton.
The south side.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Gibbons, Alberta.
Little ginger going into the bench.
Oh, yeah, he's limping. You can see it.
When you are playing the game, though, you kind of forget about it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It doesn't hurt as much when you're playing the game. Especially when you're skating at Mach 1.
Not fun between periods, though.
No.
Putting that skate on and off. If you,
Yeah, but
if
don't
you want
take it off.
If you want to
Yeah.
take it off.
If you need to take it off
Yeah.
and get another little bump.
Because do you ever get that top of the foot and then you have to release it a little bit between periods, or would
I
you just
never took it off.
even though it hurt?
Yeah, I got hit there so many times, and to this day now, I could drop a brick on there and I don't feel it. Top of my feet, I'll have nerve
Still?
damage, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't affect anything. The only time I have a problem is like in the winters up north, snowmobile and stuff like that. Like I don't know that my feet are freezing.
Oh, so you can
know
get
what I mean?
frostbite
You know
without
what?
feeling it. Yeah.
That could have nothing to do with the 12 Bud Lights you had, though.
Well,
I'm just asking for a friend.
the McGillicuddy's keeps us warm.
I'm just asking.
Peppermint schnapps in the wine flask.
Yeah, whatever your poison is.
Yeah, mandatory.
Yeah.
Got to stay warm. Look at five jerseys on that side of the ice. 5 blue jerseys. Puck gets on the wall. Just all you see is dark.
Excuse me.
There's just no.
Yeah, you just can't get through.
I love that kind of coverage. We try to do it with our team, and they kind of get a little loose, but eventually, they figure it out. Especially at that level, because you don't have these kind of guys.
Oh yeah, you can't skate through that.
Yeah, you can't get through it. Well, I'll tell you what. I went back their last game. I didn't watch the whole game. I just watched one thing. I noticed number 18, number 15 in front of the net all the time in front of the offense.
Is that right? Yeah.
Oh, just more often than like it's nice in this game because we're seeing more numbers than just Steele and Blackwell.
We got a frozen picture here, fellas.
Oh, internet going down in the studio.
It's all right. Maybe just our TV. We've gone completely frozen.
Yeah, you guys got on your
Reset it.
iPads.
Oh, Jamie just scored 3 goals.
Oh, that's not nice.
You see that, guys?
Look at that, Lutz.
North
Mr.
Dakota audiovisual 1 and 2.
Here you go.
One of my classes.
So 1 is the on switch and 2 is the off switch?
No, there's a
Sorry.
technical way you got to do it with the control. You got to push that one button twice and then you hit the other one 3 times.
I'm guessing that Lutz definitely knew how to hook up a VCR.
Yeah. I remember when I got a TiVo set. Never figured that thing out.
No?
No. I don't think it was around long either though.
Well, once DVR became standard with your cable or satellite,
right.
TiVo definitely
it
started to
that was out
fade.
of business. It's a good stat there.
Yep.
I mean that tells a good story. That's positive.
Except there's the other stat up there. I think it's Edmonton 1, Dallas nothing. That's the trouble.
That's a good stat.
That's not the good stat. Oh, he's got him.
Boy, Skinner didn't know where that was.
I thought he thought it went in.
He did, I think.
Jeez.
I think he did.
He looked behind him and found a horseshoe. Speaking of.
Oh, boy.
Final media timeout of period number 1. Oilers up 1-0 here on the watch along.
Sevy, we might have to start a podcast of just you and Allie telling Claire Drake stories because she wants to know if you have any key things you learned from him, stories, etc.
From Claire Drake, it changed everybody that Claire touched. It changed their lives. That's how effective this guy was or how influential he was. It was amazing. You have coaches like that, Luds, that were so great with so many people and just changed their lives. It just,
you know who, and it wasn't a head coach, but it was Wills.
Yeah.
You know, I had Rick Wilson in North Dakota, and you know, babysat me. Sevy, I'll tell you what, funny story I can tell. So, his wife Carol, we were doing Zuby's thing. You know, when Zuby had the jersey thing, right? And we were at the W here at the bar, and she goes, I don't know if you know this. You know, back when you first got here, she goes, I came home one night after the first couple of weeks, and because she was a skating instructor there in North Dakota too with the guys, and she said, Rick, why do you have that big blonde kid on this team? he said, I don't know. You guys think he's going to make the team or something like that? And I'm listening to Carol. I'm, oh man, thanks for this story. And she goes, no. She goes, you know what he told me? I said, I had no idea. He said in the Asia, I'm not blowing smoke. She said, he said to me, you wait and see. He's going to play in the NHL someday. Like that.
So he knew, eh? Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't even, you know what I mean? Like
saw something.
And but he was that guy that he was hard on me, you know, but made me the details and basically tells you, you're never going to be this guy.
Yep.
So you got to be that guy.
The honesty with the love, with the intelligence.
Yeah. Hard on you. And we would do about $50 a piece at the end of practices. We would stand at the face-off dot. He would stand at the blue line with pucks, and you just slide and he'd shoot him into you. And I'm not talking about the foam ones.
Yeah.
I mean, that was your end of practice. Go down, block shots, learn how not to get hit in the face.
It's kind of important.
Yeah. Well, it's all timing, you know.
I think it helped you in your career. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying.
It helped
your game.
I wish he'd have been working on my hands.
I know. Well, like you said, you could.
Yeah,
you knew you weren't going to do that.
Start different. Goals, 1 and 6. Shots, 6. Got a 10 plus 38. Ozone 10 plus 2.
And one of the reasons, too, 10 points by defensemen for the Oilers.
What, a shooting percentage?
No, goals. Points. When you look at the Edmonton Oilers defensemen scoring in this series, they got 4 goals, 6 assists for 10. I think the Stars have 2 points from their defensemen.
And I'm guessing both. Well, no, one would be. Well, no, not yet. I was going to say Harley's got to be one.
No,
of
sorry,
them.
they got 4. Yep. Heiskinen's got 2 points. Essa Lindell has 1, and
Essa's
Liam
got
Bishop.
the empty netter. Probably all came in that game 1.
Thomas Harley does not have a point in this series. Oh boy.
Boy, the Stars have just peppered Edmonton's net. They just haven't found any way to score out of it.
But I don't look at that as a great chance, that last one.
No.
I'm just saying
here we
that's
go.
all they're giving them.
No. They've had better than that.
Oh, what's that?
Pass right there.
Is that Bouchard again?
Yep. That pass there has killed the Stars.
That's when you're not tracking back. Go back to that.
Oh boy.
Makes people nervous, doesn't it? When every time you see
Well,
that
he
guy.
makes me nervous every time he says, "Oh boy,"
Yeah.
especially when I'm not watching.
You look up and go, ah!
Now watch how Essa takes the line to the net here. It's straight. Oh, I guess it wasn't as. It's straight back to the post. Like a lot of players' leads will go towards McDavid. Look at Essa. He just goes straight back to that post.
I'll meet you at the net, hopefully.
I'll meet you there. It's shorter distance for Essa. When you play like a guy like McDavid, you have to do that.
Yeah. That last chance, John. Oh. He doesn't even listen to me anymore. I don't know what we can show or what we can't show. Apparently, it's got to be YouTube or
My job is the clock here.
Or
that
Twitter.
occupies one arm, so I only have one other arm to work with.
These are the things, Sevy, that are pet peeves of mine. So, let's see. Watch Marchman come back on this. Whoops, he misses. But watch, and he's coming back into his own zone. But watch where he goes. Instead of coming here, he goes out here, and look where the hole is. You track back to the middle of the ice, right? I mean, that's.
No, I'm just saying. Yes. I'm just forwards, eh?
Mark that one down, John. Somebody's going to Twitter it, and we'll do it. John can't wait till this season's over.
You think he needs a vacation?
I'm still waiting for the iPad to be able to draw on. I was told that was going to be part of my tools. Well, if the score ends this way, at the end of this period, I would say it's imperative that the Dallas Stars get the next goal.
You think so?
Yes. Start of the second period.
Not two goals down.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, again, I think you've got to feel good coming out of this period. If it stays like this, yeah, you should have a goal or two right now, but you don't. But you kind of dictated the play at times. And again, what Edmonton's getting, they're giving them some of this.
And the Oilers have not lost when they go into the second period leading in this playoffs this season. So,
and as a matter of fact, at the end of the first, the Oilers are 1,000%. So is Dallas.
Yep, Dallas.
If they have a lead at the end of the first. Why does it say 1,000%? Why wouldn't it be 100? Why does it have to be 1,000?
Where does it say 1,000?
Huh?
Where did it say 1,000?
In the stats that I looked up the other day.
Oh, because the winning percentage.
I guess, that's what it is. There we go.
Oh, shimmy shake. Aye.
Whoops. There we go. No. The puck is trying to find hints.
Let's keep S on the ice, please.
You just feel they're going to even it up, right? That's a good job by us, huh? Oh, they didn't even it
They
up.
didn't
No.
call
Oh,
Essa.
that's good.
No.
Was it because
Well,
Pud-
Essa didn't really do anything.
He didn't.
He didn't do anything.
But even so, you can count on a million hands how many times the guys evened up for being hit, right? Or
yeah, but
hey,
that was just moving him out of
No,
the
no,
front.
no.
I was surprised that out of that whole thing.
I'm agreeing with you that Lindell didn't do anything, but how many times does he get? They take them both just because.
But that wasn't even Wallman, was it? That he pushed to the ice?
I
Because
thought that was
Wallman-
Arvidsson that went down. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. Didn't Wallman get the penalty just now?
No, it was Podkolzin.
Oh. Okay, well, get it up. You
All
got
right.
5
Need
seconds.
one here, folks. Oh, it's not going to happen.
One, two, three, four, five.
Yeah.
2.8.
Oh, it's a little.
2.8.
Yeah.
You're tinkering with pulling them.
Oh, and he gets
ran
the
it
shot
in.
off
Get that
too, eh?
thing off hard.
You guys remember when Lindy did that test at practice? Do you remember what was it? 2.4.
I can't remember
what
the number.
was
And
the-
everything's got to work out perfect.
It's got to be
Oh.
perfectly. So, I think 3 seconds. I think you do it. Anything
Oh,
under-
I'd never do it at 3.
What'd you do? 2?
No. Yeah, 2 for sure.
2 or less?
2 for sure.
What's your threshold for pulling the goalie on an offensive zone draw at the end of a period?
What
Like,
do you
what's the
mean?
maximum you do it and feel okay about it?
Are you talking about if we're down a goal now?
If you're looking, yes.
Okay, at the end of the game.
Or end of a period even. First period here. So
Well,
would you
oh.
pull Jake with 2
No.
seconds?
Oh, I see. No, that's what we're talking
Right,
about.
but what's-
It'd be
what's-
2 seconds.
2 would be the max. 2.0.
Yeah, 2.
So
I'm
2
not
and a
doing it.
half,
Yeah.
you're not doing it.
I'm not doing
It was a 2.8.
Yeah. Pushing
I'm
it?
going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to go and fire that down the ice. Now I got to know how long
So
it
it's-
takes.
Yeah, but you got
Puck
what you
drop,
got to do is you
win
got to
it,
have
shoot
somebody.
it.
You stand where you would normally stand, and have somebody toss you a puck or something like
yeah,
that. And
that's
then-
what I mean.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull it back and then shoot it down
And
the ice.
how long will it take for you? I think it's like 3 is my guess, but
Well, what if you just whacked it?
I mean
I
that
don't,
has.
think you, I don't think you get enough juice
I
to
don't
get
know
it
if the
down
center
ice.
could do that. That would
Yeah.
be really risky or crazy to
You
have
need
that.
someone going straight out with it.
Yeah,
pushing it
just
down
go
the ice.
forward.
Well, that's kind of taking a chance of giving me a shot.
Yeah.
No, not me, 'cause I wouldn't be out there, but you know what I'm saying. Giving Zuby a shot.
Yeah. Is that Nugent
Is that,
Hopkins
that,
again?
was,
Did-
that was Oshie out there. What's that?
Nugent Hopkins that just got the assist on that? On the goal? Yes.
All right, so that's the end of the period, guys. We are now in the first intermission, and I'll have to tabulate mine, but boy, Dallas had a lot of shots and shot attempts. They had some good chances, but you know what? For the limited scoring chances that Edmonton have, they had some pretty high danger ones.
Well, that's kind of a theme.
Yeah, it's absorb pressure and then go.
Yep.
So if you're Dallas, are you saying be patient, keep doing this? Don't change?
Yeah, you don't, again,
'Cause
you
it's
don't
only
have
one
to
goal.
open this game up because, again, that Edmonton team has, some of their guys, they have the ability to turn those things. Next thing you know, you're doing exactly what Pete's talking about. You end up chasing the game too early in the second period. I think they got to find a way to bump into that goaltender.
Yeah, why not drive it back a little bit more even, you know?
You think he's having it too comfortable in his crease or in that area?
Oh.
Yeah, it's such a frustrating feeling, eh? Go in that dressing room still creating all that, and you're like, come on.
Same feeling they probably had at the end of the other day when they have such a good period and nothing to show for it. But now you got to sell positivity and hope. And
Nugent Hopkins now 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points to lead the Edmonton Oilers in this round.
8 points in
4 games.
3.5 games.
Yeah, 3.5 games. Yeah.
Look, he's a first round talent. He's been overshadowed because of McDavid and Draisaitl, but he is a tremendous and balanced player that can.
How many times have you seen hit 100 in his career?
100 points?
Yeah. I'm guessing not many. I don't know. No idea. But you're right. He's a great player, and he's playing with.
Once, Luds, 104. Yep.
But is he 90s a lot, or is he more 80s?
He is more. $49 this year, 67, 104, yeah, 50, 35, 61, 69.
Oh.
So 100 is abnormal from 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I'm guessing he's making about $6 million then.
Doing
It could
all
be
right.
more. 6 to 7. Is there any music we could? Oh, we can't play music. Can't do that either, can we?
Yeah, so believe it or not, Edmonton they had the higher danger.
Well, that's been kind of consistent.
Right, but I'm just reiterating this as we look through this, that this feels a lot like when Dallas would play Carolina. You'd see all these chances and all this shot volume from the Hurricanes, but it would all be from the perimeter, and then Dallas would get a lot less, but they would get the higher quality chances by getting into the inside. And we're seeing Dallas kind of being the other way. They're the ones that are shooting from the outside, which is what you've been talking about the whole series.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of a watch along, we're repeating it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just kind of gravitate to the easy ice. Oh, wait. What was that?
Oh, there they re-showed the chop on Hintz.
Oh, that's what I was just looking for.
Oh.
That's I mean,
it's great.
that's the game right there.
Bing bang.
Oh, we got a super chat. Keelan with a Lundqvist and year after the cup. Pete and the Stars could use a little more a-holes out there.
No pushback from Rupe on that though. No swing, just skate right to the.
What do you think, guys? You want more jerks on the ice for the Stars?
Everybody
For
likes
the super
edge,
chat?
right? Everybody likes edge.
Yeah, but
you can't
Where
run around.
are they going to go get them from? They're going to go up in the bleachers and get them? Or, I mean,
Is he talking moving forward, or is he talking?
yeah. You mean next?
Just
Well,
put it in your game a little
actually,
bit more.
when I was doing a thing, and that was a question that was asked for the thing I was doing today, and I'm like, yeah, but they're not built that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just
not DeBoer's way.
And really, there could be the other side of the argument going, are you more of a regular season team than a playoff team kind of thing? I mean, look at Florida. You know, they don't really worry about finishing first in the league. They know who they are, and then they get to playoff time and they play playoff high, but they have playoff type players like Kachuk and Bennett and even Barkov. I mean, they got.
What would you guys think of
Excellent.
Carolina even getting on the board last night?
Well, it's
Playing for their lives. Stanky got a nice goal. Couple of late empty netters.
I think that's their first win in
15 or something. They lost conference finals, I think.
I thought it's been they got shut out.
I think they've been swept in 3 straight.
I thought it was
Conference.
more than that.
I thought it was
A crazy number of games. Their first win in whatever it was.
I thought it was they'd lost 15 in a row.
Okay, I was going to say 16. So you're right.
So in 16 games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they got swept in 3, and then they were down 3-0. So that'd be 15.
That's just nuts, isn't it?
It's insane to get to that far, to get to the third round, and then just get blanked.
Well, it really does tell you something.
What was
about
the stat,
makeup of
Luds?
your
They
team.
hadn't won a conference final game since 2006, which is the year they won the
year
cup
they won it. Yep.
against Edmonton of all teams.
Like they're re-showing this goal here. Miro's really close, right, Luds? Like he is inches. When they show it from the other angle, I know it seems like a lot from where we're looking at. Like, look how close he was.
But the thing is, Sevy,
Yeah, I know,
we
you want
can't.
to play
Oh no,
over.
wait, that's Miro.
Yeah, that's Miro.
Okay, so
I've
if
got screenshots of this, guys.
if
I drew
he's
other
another-
crap on it, but you can point out where Miro is.
Oh yeah,
on
now all
here
of a
if you
sudden
want to.
He's ready
Pull
for
that
you,
up.
Luds.
I circled like Draisaitl and everything, but if you want to
Okay.
talk about Miro, talk about Miro.
Okay, well here's Leon Draisaitl circled. Well, and
What a
now,
jerk.
No, but now here this is where it ends up going back to the middle of the ice, and this is where I want, because again, everybody knows typically where Draisaitl is on power plays, and a lot of times he's actually closer to the goal line than he is on this one. So he has an uncanny ability to score goals from here, and you know, and Jake knows where he's shooting from. He's got to respect, but right here, does it not look like Jake is late on this? Because, so right, that angle right there, if you hold that right there, John, this is where there's nobody else around here. There's no one over here. You see no other jersey except one dangerous guy. And if that was just a normal player, I wouldn't even say he's dangerous. But you know who that guy is. So I would overplay him to make sure the puck goes to anybody else but him. And yes, you're kind of taking yourself out of there, but look at, there's no one else really to worry about. So the pass cannot go to him. That's the way I feel about it, because I think he's the most dangerous guy there.
Right. I'm going to play devil's advocate in that it's a left-handed shot, and the collect and shoot is coming from there quick. And as Miro, just for a millisecond, goes to the right side because he wants to take, if you could just back it up to the other one when the pass that one. So he's just thinking for a second, like, okay, I have to be careful that guy doesn't come. Because really, I know what you're saying. That's the goaltender's shot, really.
You're talking about the puck carrier now coming down the
middle.
slot.
Yeah. That's the dangerous guy, right? And we know that the guy off to the right is going to eventually get the goal. But here's what Miro, and I've been in this situation before, like I just want to play over a little bit too much and just take away the middle because that's the dangerous guy. And then, oh my God, I'm out of position.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what happened with Miro on this one, because I wish they had the angle from behind. You could see how close Miro is really to hit that stick. Like it's maybe a foot, maybe. So he was just off a bit. But you're talking about one of the best players in the world with that shot right there.
Is that McDavid making the pass? I can't tell.
I believe it
who's
was
making the
Nugent
pass.
Hopkins.
Yeah, I think that's Nugent Hopkins.
Okay.
He got the assist.
Yeah, he got the primary.
And see, the other thing for me is, when I look at our forward, the forward that's in the middle of the ice, you can be more to your left. There's nothing. There's not.
It's
you
a
can
2-on-4.
tighten exactly.
It's
You
a
can tighten
2-on-4.
this all up.
Yep.
And you can always, and again, there's a player coming in on the backside, up high near the blue line, but you can recover to that guy. But the fact is, how good Jake is as a goaltender, that, and this would be, I guess this is a question for Sean. Is this one of these times where, knowing that Draisaitl is out there, is he getting too high in the crease? Should he be a little bit deeper so he can recover to that post? But again,
So as a defenseman, do you want Jake to take the shot, or do you want to worry about Draisaitl? As a defenseman.
No, Jake's got to line up with the guy with the puck.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's him. But I would, again, I'm just saying the way that I would play it, I would just know who my feeling is, I want to take the most dangerous guy on the iceway, knowing that guy can score goals from there all the time. Like all the time. And what's the other option? If you take him away, you look at who's playing in front here. Is that
Harley,
Thomas?
yeah.
Yeah. So Harley should be able to get into that shooting lane. There should be some back pressure if that is Nugent Hopkins there. My thing is, it'd be the same thing with McDavid. When McDavid comes into the zone, I want him to give the puck to somebody else.
Yep.
I mean, anybody. And when he doesn't have it, I really don't want him to get it back. I feel you have more of an advantage, almost playing like let's say it's 5-on-5. You're almost playing like a 4-on-4 with everybody else out there.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be the right guy to cover McDavid because I couldn't keep up. But like Miro, I'm okay in that instance. Like how I am with this whole man-on-man stuff. obviously, I don't know if you know Sevy. I'm not a big
No,
fan.
I understand.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you've heard that before.
yeah.
But when it's McDavid and you got a guy like Miro that can stay with him,
Yeah.
just take Connor McDavid out of the equation and live to fight another day with the other guy out there and whatever other three are out there. But
And I think overall, that is an unbelievable shot.
pass. Oh yeah,
That
exactly.
was unbelievable.
But how many times do we see it?
Yeah, you see it. But I'm sure Miro's thinking, I got this guy. He's everything that we just went through, he processed, and he thinks he has him. And he was just off a foot. But that's the NHL, right? He's
Yeah,
off a foot
yeah,
to a guy that
yeah.
blasts the puck like that.
There's some left some questions up on the screen for you guys here.
Kevin says, Luds, what would you say since they did good and just shots not bouncing in?
Yeah, I would try to just follow up on that period. I don't think you can go into the locker room being disappointed on what you saw that
Right.
period. Do we got to be a little bit better? I go back to the same thing. Make it a little bit more difficult on the goaltender. Yes, he's made some great saves, but he's able to get across and find those. We've seen a few of these where Jake can't see them. So I want more bodies in front of the net and keep him deeper in his net so maybe he can't see it. But I think that was a good period by Dallas. I mean, I think there were chances there that, if the goaltender wasn't at the other end of the rink.
Here we are again, Lud, special teams and goaltending.
Yeah.
Meaning, I don't have any negative criticisms of Jake Ottinger's game,
Nope.
but Skinner made some big saves. So did Jake.
Yep.
And the Oilers are one up in the special teams battle. And that's why they have the lead. Because everything else, if you looked at just the numbers, in which we never just do that because that only tells part of the story. But if you looked at this first period, it looks like the second period of Game 3, which is massively in favor of Dallas with everything except for the number of quality chances and the score.
Key save.
Key saves. And Edmonton, when they do get their odd chances, they're getting two pretty dangerous positions with some of their best players. McDavid with 3, Nugent Hopkins with 2. Those are two of their bigger guys. The Stars, the ones that had the big chances, Marchment, Sagan, Duchesne. 4 for Mush, 4 for Sagan, 3 for Duchesne. That line was moving in the first period, but they don't have a goal to show for it. And it just feels like this team, they can get one. We saw it in Game 1. They can get one, they get 6, but they got to get that first one.
You still got 40 minutes to go.
Yeah.
There should be no panic setting in here. You have to stress the positives. This thing here, like when RNH comes in here, Sevy, he's not even in position to shoot it.
So you don't think you can collect and shoot from there?
No, I don't think he could.
Can you back it up a little
To
bit?
me, like it's easy to look back on replays and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but when I see him here, he's not even looking. And we know he's more of a pass first guy. That's.
Mhm.
But and again, you're right. Like he's not far off.
Yeah, he
not far off.
misplayed it. Just
But
a little bit.
you're playing what he's doing. He's playing the shooter.
Yeah.
He's not playing the passing lane.
And that's what I think he thought. He was kind of overplaying to the right a little bit just because it was hop. He just didn't want to give up the middle.
Right.
Just for that millisecond. And he's like, oh, geez, I forgot about this guy on my left. And then he started to move. You could see he was just off for a second. Easy to say when we're up here watching it slow motion 6 times.
I know.
We should have done
It's
it.
so easy from here.
So easy, right?
If you're Edmonton right now, well, actually, I'll ask you these questions here. Cam says, intermission question, why isn't Dallas trying to get a greasy goal like muck it up?
There's these 5 guys in front of the net called the Edmonton Oilers, and they're in the muck.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah, but you know what? You
drive,
gotta-
eh?
Yeah,
Just
you got to
drive
go into the
people
muck.
Yeah, get in the muck.
Because they want you to stay on the perimeter. That's what they're hoping for.
So if you're a guy like Rantanen, would you recognize that it's not working perimeter? Because we don't see him in front of the net. And it's not his game.
But
Do you
if he
try
goes
it?
there, who's
Yeah.
going to move him?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Would that be
Yeah.
something unique?
And
that
but
you
wouldn't
can
you
do?
also say like we don't want that guy there. We want somebody else to be there.
I know.
We need Marchment there.
Yeah.
We need a big body in there that can, draw somebody to him and keep the goal.
But don't we always have don't the Stars always have at least one guy there in the middle of the ice now?
Feels like it.
Ever since that last game, I always see someone in the middle standing in front of their goalie. And we'll just watch for it here in the second period.
Phantom said, do you guys think the Oilers are getting away with interference in their own defensive zone? It seems like the refs aren't calling any stick hits and hooks. It was very prevalent last game. Did you guys notice anything?
I didn't know. I mean, I think that, again, you're in the playoffs, you're in the third round. I don't think referees are out there wanting to call penalties. And that's another thing as a player. either side, you get 10 minutes into that game, you get a good read on what they're doing, right? As far as referees, you get a good read on what they're allowing. Like again, we looked at that whack to the ankle on Rope going off the ice there. I'm wondering, how did nobody see that, right? Like, I'm talking about linesmen, officials. I'm thinking, so that kind of tells you this is what we're letting go.
As players, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Let us go.
No, exactly.
And you got to fight through. And if that stuff is happening, you're not getting the call, well, then you better fight through it.
And that's when, to me, you have somebody after that play goes and it goes to a whistle, whatever, you skate up to the referees and say, I know you guys saw the shot. We're fine with it. Just want you to know it works both ways now.
Right?
That's okay. It works both ways now. We're good.
Hey, our little buddy sent us a text, Sam, who's in Edmonton tonight.
Get lost?
He is not happy with the Evan Bouchard slash on Rope Hintz. He says, I don't know if they take a penalty. Edmonton can't get away with that BS with absolutely no response. Get out there, Luds.
Well, hey, tell Sam I'm not happy with his haircut, but guess what? There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Move on.
You guys, is this a game time?
I think we're getting pretty close. Yep. If you hear Ray, that means they're about to come on, right?
What a shot.
Jake looks dejected on that. Like his body language. Like
is that right?
Like he's upset with himself that he didn't. I think that would be he didn't get across to make that save. Again, because he knows where he's going. He knows who the shooter is, right?
To Sevy's point, that's a heck of a shot.
But the thing is, think about all the goals that Draisaitl scores from that area. How many do you see that are not short side?
Right.
When you think back, all the goals he scored, they all short side.
And there's this number 8. Do you know he sits in the same spot? His name's Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Same spot.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Same thing. Like how? How does it come off the stick so quickly? And Bishop was talking about that in Ovechkin and how that shot comes off his stick. You just can't read it. He has a read. And I know where it goes, but he says, I know where it's going. I can't get there.
When Albie was here, Al May was here for that thing that we played, and he was talking about his curve. And he said goaltenders have said it, like it's how they think it's the way his curve is, whatever. But once he hits it, you can't read the puck.
Knuckles, eh?
Yeah, you can't read it.
Yeah.
Well, that's apparent. They can't read it. I think some of them don't want to read it.
Yeah.
Is this an important power play? Yes, it is.
Kind of feels like it, doesn't it?
See right there. Look at how the defensemen have to back up on Rope. That's the good thing. It's like that's not a good thing right there. But
nice retrieval by Duchesne, though.
Well, there was nobody else over there.
Fair, but still, he got it.
Look at how they kill. They bring their first guy down so low.
Mm-hmm.
Nice puck movement.
Where's he going?
See, even that shot in front,
that's the rebound
on the backside.
Yep.
He gets boxed out there. See, to me, what happens with these power plays is they're actually trying to pass them into the net instead of trying to get that second and third chance.
Good read by Harley there. Well, that was almost.
Did you say pass him into the net?
Well, they're trying to pass them into the net scoring instead of getting that ugly goal.
There we go.
Like there's nobody in front of the net.
Yep, that's the second time in the shift.
And there now you have an Edmonton player fighting with Jake in front. Well, that's a good flipper.
Oh, there's a Mullen back there.
Good read there. That was steal.
They just clog up the middle of the ice and make you go to the walls. Nope. Nope. That one got away from Jamie.
They got some speed.
And they got guys tracking back. That was another thing. You can't hit the lake guys when you got guys tracking back.
Oh, there you go. Just a little baby bump.
Look at the position in front. That's too bad. Wonder what happened to him. I think it is his hand.
Yeah.
I don't think it's his shoulder.
You talking about Hyman?
Yeah. You know Billy Pie?
Mm-hmm.
Billy Pie just sent me a text message, or he did a little while ago. Otter needs to make that save. That's Billy Pie, the goalie guy.
I'm not a goalie, and I understand that, Billy.
Is Sean coming on tonight?
No, Sean will be, if the travel weather and everything behaves tomorrow, in studio for our daily show tomorrow.
I trust Sean getting to where he wants to get to before our other.
Well, we theoretically could have 4 of us tomorrow, or we could have 3 or 2. Tomorrow.
We
have a 2 o'clock show tomorrow. Regular old daily podcast, lads.
What is tomorrow? Tuesday? Wednesday?
It's just like a quagmire out there, eh? Through the middle of the ice.
A slog.
Slog.
Quagmire is a great word, by the way.
Oh, come on.
So, for those watching us watch the game, when there's a quagmire out there, what do you do to counteract that?
I think passing and skating, right? You want to move that puck as quickly as you can. Direct passes, like we saw with Carolina last game, right? They call it north,
Simplify.
south. Simplify, quick outs. Remember when Tampa won the Stanley Cup? They did little chips off the boards to get up the ice. And they did it over and over and over again, and it was so effective. Very simple plays.
Organized chaos. If you put it into a little area,
yep.
And there's always people going to those areas. And you
you got to have the support, right?
Yep.
That's
and
the key.
you work your way. And that's where
right
the whole concept of having the numbers.
Penalty.
Like having numbers next to each other. You got the numbers everywhere, and you can chip it. And then you chip it. You give up possession, but you're advancing it and gaining possession because you got people going to it.
9?
Mo out there? They bring Madonna in?
91, I think. Right there. Oh, 90.
Oh, 90.
He said 9. Perry with the little pick play.
I'll take that call. I'll take it. Cheesy, but I'll take it.
Well, you know he's doing it on purpose. That's for sure.
God, they got to get one of these, eh?
Yeah.
Oof. Lose the draw on the power play to start. That's always a tough one.
Thomas gets the puck. I want him to shoot it. There was a shot.
Oh,
mush.
get in there.
But see that at least that's creating something.
Chaos.
All started with that little bump play. Oh, nice shot. Little bump play back to the defense. So they've gone here.
Yeah,
and
see, now you got to respect his shot.
And now it opens up that bump.
Oh, come on now.
Oh,
There we go.
Robo. Stars didn't score a power play goal in games 2 or 3. Obviously, they scored 3 in game 1, so that's a big one.
Nice. Just watch how much room he has. Oh, thing of beauty here, folks. Nice. Skinner seems like he's deep in the net, too.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Well, that feels like a big one, guys. Glad you were talking about the next goal. It's pretty darn important for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
They got it.
I know when you were talking what specialty teams and what is it? Goaltending?
Special teams and goaltending there, Sevy. The
yeah.
old cliche. But boy, are you right.
A little more zone time. I'm going to guess. Is that on Marchman?
All right, we have immediate timeout here in the
it's the
second
exact
period.
Same thing. Sorry, Owen.
Nope, that's all right. Was that identical in your mind?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
very close. Yep.
Funny thing is that we see that, and we saw that Colorado series all the time. They never called
Never
it.
called it, yeah. I
And
was just
if
thinking
the
that.
standard is the same, you want it right. Call it. If you're going to call it, you got to call that.
It's got to be time for potato chips. No, folks? Yeah?
I mean-
Anybody want?
Well, I mean, he's got to counteract his cheese board at some point.
When I have chips, I get thirsty, guys.
Well, we all know what that means.
I'm just saying.
Gonna have to go to the Bud Light here soon. Oh, Sevy's going to the pretzels.
Well, that'll make you thirsty.
So we had Sev walking back over here with that.
All right, robo goal. Speed of light.
The play is made because of the shot prior to this. Go back.
This is all I got to work with here.
Okay. Is there a replay on it that will show the setup for? Well, I was kind of hoping that they were showing the shot from Harley prior to that. This all started getting them out of whack because of the Harley shot. So the shot.
Yeah, we don't have it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I would say it's the puck movement. Go from
Each person.
yeah. That would say the puck movement. And then that last shot, John, where you're seeing it from behind Robo, finish with that one where the goal goes in.
So they're showing a quick interview as the power play is about to start for Edmonton Leds about talking to Chris Knobloch losing Zach Hyman. How big of a loss is it? I mean, he's a huge part of their team to complement their big guys.
Well, he's their leading hit guy in the playoffs. He's the net presence guy in all situations, and especially on the power play. You know, he's the guy that makes his living off of right on top of the crease. So it's a pretty important player because he's the guy that kind of carries the flag into that dirty area in front of the net. And he's hard to move. And especially for McDavid and Draisaitl, they know he's always going to be standing in front of that net. So they use him.
Boy, Essa knows how to cover that back post, doesn't he? He's really good about diving down and covering.
But
for
see,
a
now
chance
we're
on a
just
rebound
letting
or
somebody
wraparound.
stand there. Like I want that's better right there.
You
now you got the back door. Oops.
Nugent Hopkins power play goal.
Him or Perry?
I don't know if Perry got a touch on it. He might have. RNH was the shooter. I think Perry got a
was
touch.
Perry was on that back
Tip
door.
in.
See, and he just rolled. Yeah, he rolls off him. Again, like you're shorthanded. CeCe's in front of the net. You've got to take that back door guy. You have to leave that shot from there.
CeCe went
Jake's
to try
got to
to
have something. Jake's got to. You got. In fact, if he just lays down, that pass probably doesn't happen. But the other thing is
But he
guys
left
got to
him.
collapse. I mean, obviously they got to. That it's too easy there.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm gonna have a piece of cheese on that one,
All right.
and I'm getting thirsty.
Penalty coming up.
Say there's no,
Oh, jeez. Boy,
Is that
Hintz
Hintz again?
Yeah, he drew the penalty. He went
all
hard
right.
into the boards
He was
too.
all right.
Yeah, well, the lights don't help.
It's all the friction. Friction makes heat coming off of his pen.
Yep, just smoking over here.
What did he get that for?
Tripping.
How did it all start? Oh, yeah. Power play goal. Perry. Nugent Hopkins to the far post. I like it. Who is that? Is that Harley out there again? Must be. There was a shot.
There's
Yeah.
Harley. Yep.
Yeah. See, now you pull him out. There you go. All starts with that first shot. Every time he gets a lane, he should take it.
It just opens everything else up, doesn't it?
Using that bumper a lot
That's a
too.
good try.
Oh. Nope, not calling that.
Nope.
Sevy, I'm trying to spell the word methodical. METH. Just start typing and see if it comes up.
Yeah, well, ready for you.
Is it with a T or a D?
Methodical.
Oh, yeah, it would be. And then I would say ICAL. Yep, got it. Spell check. Or no, what does it call it when it spells it for you? Whatever that is.
Yep, spell check.
That was close.
Was it a good goal? I didn't see it. The power play goal.
You wouldn't like the D
they-
coverage.
Yeah, the CC kind of got caught on the far close post and left Perry open on the back door. Yeah. And I said, if you're going to play that way, you got to go down, you know, and at least takes that passing lane away. He's kind of standing up and it goes through him.
He's caught in the middle, kind of.
Yeah, well, I think he kind of gravitated to him too. But also, you know, that's supposed to be where you got that help coming down the back door. You know, your forward, backside forward should be coming down.
Oh, down it goes, eh?
That's tough, eh? 2 goals.
Well,
Oilers
here's
now
here's
at-
the situation here again, Luds. They're down 2-1. 8 minutes to go, second period. Be patient, right? Don't overextend.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
get
not
caught.
you're not opening enough,
Right?
nothing up here.
Well, you shouldn't, but right, you get
No,
that.
No, you.
You want to not give Edmonton a bunch of odd man rushes.
Yeah, and I think you know they're doing some good things here with the puck. I don't know what the shots are, but I'm guessing there's and look at it's just that they don't get people that drive to the front of the net and stay there. There's these flybys.
The shots are 9 and
Like
9
that,
right
that's
now.
a good who is that? Hintz again in front?
That was
no,
Jamie.
Jamie. Now there needs to be somebody in front of the net. Everybody wants to get on the outside when Jamie gets behind the net with the puck. He's a good shooter.
That's a good place for him to shoot from that corner.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any place. That's
Yeah,
a good
well, that
spot
was at
for
least that
guy.
wasn't a one-timer with Jake moving.
That's the frustrating thing, losing the puck right there.
Yeah.
5-7 feet over the blue line every time.
When you're 1-on-2 or 1-on-3, you know.
And that's why I was giving credit to the Oilers defenseman for that, just doing such a good job of gap control and always up, always up.
Exactly. They've really taken that where Dallas likes that stretch play.
Yeah, they haven't been able to do it at all.
No, because they all stand up so tight in the neutral zone. Well, here you'll see it here, Sevy. I think if they go to break, you'll see the power play goal.
I believe we have a media timeout here, guys.
Like, watch this here.
Oh,
We do.
Yeah.
Like right here, you're not taking up any space. You're not, you know what I mean, ice wise. Like,
We
lay
tried
down.
to drop, yeah.
Lay down.
Yep. Oh, it bounced. Did it bounce off of him? And they go to Corey?
Yeah, it did. It kind of trickled, or it didn't trickle over to him. It changed directions on the way to him.
Yeah, you're saying just lay down, eh? Just take away that.
and what happened to me, when you're in that spot, or you play off the back post and you kind of let Jake take that, because then he's got to skate a little bit more and gives time to come in.
Yep.
But if you lay down also, they hesitate a little bit, and that gives time for guys to come in. But that's kind of like in the middle. You're down, but you're up, and
They got lucky though too on it, eh?
Yeah, they
did.
Get it over there.
Yeah.
That wasn't. I didn't even look. Was that Hopkins that made a new?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't even ask.
No, yeah, same guy. Hey, and not a word said about him on the broadcast at all. Have you heard anything? Not a word about him. He's the one that's really set up those plays. Edmonton Oilers power play now 38.5% in the series.
Yeah, it's not a good thing when it keeps climbing.
No,
right?
it keeps going up.
So I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Ryan Rashog, who covers the Oilers for TSN, long discussion with a linesman and referee for Bouchard at the commercial break. Ben obviously took a number for the slash on Hintz and picked his spot. I didn't see him go after Bouchard.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah. But that's a good sign, though, watching that Robertson shot again. When he can pick those.
Yep. Hey, you give him any space. That's the thing with Robo, man. He needs just a little bit of space. But I think more fans than us, we want him to create that space.
Still like to see, I mean, obviously, but it would be nice to see them play with a lead for a little while, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was the whole key for today's game.
I think Luddy got thirsty. Too much salted meat.
He did, yeah. And that meat is sweating too over here. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I believe you mentioned some inconsistency with the HVAC too. So
the cheese is melting a little bit.
Feeling the warmth from the TV lights. So, okay, we'll let the sensitive one come back. Everybody watching always gets so emotionally up and down and freaks out when they're losing and gets thrilled when they're winning. How would you tell fans watching right now that they should, I mean, it's hard to tell them how they feel, but how nervous should they feel 2-1 down in the second period of a game? Everyone really feels like the Stars should win.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers are playing well, but I think if you look at the game overall, the Stars are doing and creating opportunities, right?
Right.
They are. I think the play is favoring them. The score is not, and obviously the goals for
Which feels like the second straight game that's the case, doesn't it?
Yep. And well, that's the good news, bad news, right? We started off by saying, "Oh, okay, Skinner, he made a save without even seeing the save." Well, that's not a good thing because you can just tell it's the way it is. But Stars are pushing, they're creating. That's what we're looking at. I think Luds and I are looking at. It's 2-1. Yeah, they're down. 4 minutes to go, but things I think are still good for the Dallas Stars in this game.
Yeah, they're not on their heels, right?
Nope, they're doing the right things.
Right.
So I guess that's where you talk off everybody.
HW is really nervous. Understand?
Who's nervous?
One of our chat folks right there, HW1289, really nervous. Kayla is appreciative of you coming with a beverage. Attaboy Luds.
Changing the luck up a little bit.
Harry wants to know if you're doing solo keg stands. Yeah, Lud's doing colos.
I'm going to be doing that on the float, the alumni float in June, middle of.
Sevi, did you see this comment? T from the 203. The Dallas Stars need some Cuban coffee. It's right at the top of the screen. Some Cuban coffee. Sevi knows about cafecito.
Yes.
Boy, that almost disappeared. Kayla feels much better now that the Stars scored.
What?
Cafecito? What's that? Oh.
Well, we got another media timeout, fellas, with 3.5 to go here in the second period. Beach balls out there in Edmonton.
Salami or some cheese down here?
Thank you, Luds. That's kind of you. I'm going to pass.
We can dip into that?
Go ahead, Sevi.
I don't know. I was wondering.
I wanted to see if you were going to take the whole tray down. I was waiting to see.
Oh, hell no. I don't.
Oh, yeah. I thought this was all you.
No.
Staying away. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so another chat comment. Aegis says 2-1 somehow feels better than 1-0 because the Stars have a goal.
Because they opened it, yeah.
Does that feel?
It's fair, right?
You'll be happy
Broke
if it's
the seal.
6-5. Stars have the 6 at the end of the game.
He's just saying that obviously they've created a goal, so they feel much better.
I hate car commercials right now.
Why?
Can't stand.
Oh,
because I don't have one.
Do you
yet.
have an update on your vehicle for our viewers?
See ya.
What do you mean you don't have a car?
Never heard from?
It got cherry picked out of my driveway 2 weeks ago with my skates, my 3 sticks, helmet, and gloves in it.
What do you mean cherry picked?
Oh, and you
Sold it?
don't like new skates
Oh.
either. You don't like to break in skates.
I had to wear them at our last skate.
How'd it feel?
How you think? And
I'm
baked
guessing
them.
you-
And I baked them and I forgot them in the oven for a little too long. I
So
put them
you-
on 250.
A little well done.
I could smell them. I was like, oh no.
Is this the kind of stealing where you kind of left the keys in the car?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just asking.
But you know, if your keys are in the garage, like it still starts.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't
That's
know
what
it.
they did.
Apparently.
I'm going to check that out. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because we keep the
The
keys
officers-
closest to the door, which is
Officers,
probably
first thing they said to me.
really.
Yeah. They said, you know, all they do is they're not there. It starts and you're gone.
So if there's anything you got from this watch along,
Yeah, there you go.
that's
There
we
you
got
go.
a little community service
Now, I don't know if
announcement.
that would have anything to do with battery power or just the car brand or I don't know.
You live in the same spot? You live in the same area that you've lived for a while?
No, I'm over in Highland Village.
Okay.
So.
What's your address for everybody?
It would be. Yeah, if anybody's listening, if you want to drop it off,
If you got any beer,
no questions
take it.
asked.
Three.
Three. Oh, good play by Marchman. That's better by Marchman there. See how he tracks back there? Last time he didn't do that.
Good block, Miro. No, he's good at that. You know who I haven't noticed much tonight, guys, is Wyatt Johnston. Have you? 53.
Been kind of like that through the playoffs.
Yeah,
a
but
little bit.
I was just thinking about it as we were watching the Duchesne line go up the ice. I went, 53 hasn't been that noticeable tonight.
I don't know if anybody's jumping off the page tonight. You know?
Yeah, that's
A power,
fair.
power play guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're seeing that. I like that Harley's shooting the puck.
Yeah, I don't think the Stars' fourth line has looked as dangerous as they did in Game 3.
I was going to look at that before.
Yeah, Wyatt doesn't have a shot yet. He's played about 11 minutes.
Yep.
6 wins, 2 losses on the face-off.
That's good.
Luds, why'd you get me started on this?
Oh, you broke the seal and now you're done, Sev.
Maybe I just like food.
Allie said Johnston had a great shift on the penalty kill, then came off the ice, and then Draisaitl scored after Wyatt wasn't there. Yeah, so Allie, that's fair. I guess we're probably thinking about offensively, but the penalty kill is important. Jordan says, I think I've heard Johnston's name mentioned once.
I think we're talking about with the puck, having
Yeah.
the puck, creating something for the puck.
There's Wyatt out there now. He's out there with, let's see, Ben, and I can't see the other winger yet. Granlund.
Granlund.
So same line as usual.
Is that the right pair of wingers to play with for Wyatt to get going offensively?
What do you think? Wyatt and Ben and Granlund.
I had a whole different thing wrote down today for me, but I think you need to move Wyatt up in the middle and get him with some scoring kind of guys, more offensive-minded kind of guys.
Who would you move down from a center position then?
Duchesne.
You move Duchesne down?
Yep.
So what would you do? Wyatt with Sagan and Marchment?
Nah, I was thinking, well...
Or are you
earlier
talking
I-
about total blender?
Yeah, it was a total blunder.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I've got it written down here. And the only reason it got me going is because Waddle sent me a text
Oh,
message
of course he did.
about something. And
Hi,
then I
Brian.
got going with him. And I know, Waddle. Go ahead, tweet in or something like that because you just heard me mention your name. Who did I have him? Oh, I had him with I had Wyatt with 27 and 91.
Okay. So
Because
just
I thought
literally
that-
switching them out.
Hmm?
You're literally swapping him and Duchesne.
Yeah. But I also had another player in the lineup. I had number 2 in the lineup.
Yeah, you mentioned that for game 3 as well.
I just think you could use some youthful piss and vinegar.
Who's that? Who did you say?
22.
Not 22, 2. Oh, you're talking about 20. Oh, you mean Bork, not you said I thought you said 2, so I'm thinking you said
No.
Brendan Smith.
No, 22.
Yeah, Rope's been aggressive, throughout the game.
Sevy, I said this earlier in the playoffs. I noticed it in the first round against Colorado, obviously against McKinnon a lot, but I feel like Rope was a lot more physical in this playoff round than even we saw like in the regular season. Just seemed like he was more physically engaged.
We noticed him too in that series, like staying through the middle of the ice. He was the only guy that you could really say was getting that speed through the neutral zone.
But I also felt like he was committed to. He always is drive-bys,
right?
but actually, playing a little agitated, a little, finishing his hit, going through things.
Oh boy.
Whoops.
Go, Rope.
4, 3,
You can-
2,
you can-
and that's it.
You would have had time.
You can see his stride there. Huh?
Limping a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't look as great, did it? Yeah. All right, that's the end of the second period. Send us your super chats. Do you have any questions for Sevy or Luds? Let us know. We got 18 minutes to kill, so
And a cheese tray.
and a cheese tray, which I've got to say, there's a pretty good dent in there, fellas, so far.
I haven't touched it since I came down here. So if there's a dent in it, it's because of the guy to my right.
Sevy's going to leave going, oh, Luds, you shouldn't have done that to me.
Yeah, I know.
You put the nachos within arm's length.
I've got Robo's goal locked and loaded for you, Luds.
Let's see Robo's goal. Where is it?
All right, I'm going to mute this for you guys to talk about.
Now we're going to talk about how this puck moves around. And this all started with a Harley shot. And once Harley puts that first shot up, now they have to make sure and take Harley away when he has the puck at the top, which opens up a lot. And then ultimately, it moves from one side of the ice to the other side of the ice, back around, and then Robo finds the lane. What I love about the whole play, Sevy, on this is where Robo sees the ice in the middle, up high, in the pocket, like in that high slot, and he gets himself into a better, obviously, area where he can find a better shooting area, better shooting angle. And it's hard to tell on this one here, but Skinner could have been screened on this, and I think this is a defenseman moving out right here that's trying to block. Usually that's the way Wallman tries to block it, so I'm going to guess right now that's Wallman, but right up in that corner right there. But I think if Robo doesn't get that, first, I don't think if Harley actually starts shooting, it doesn't pull these guys out of their formation, and then when Robo gets to the middle of the ice, he just opens up a better shooting angle for himself.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job moving it. Like you're showing here, one side to the other to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the bumper, which is the middle of the ice, a couple times. But yeah, you're right. Robo and just driving that puck to the middle of the ice, giving himself a better angle to shoot. And usually a defenseman's got to drop in front. And as you said, he probably created a little bit of screen, as defensemen can do when they're trying to block. And good shot.
Don't you think that they really have picked up on when there is any kind of traffic, what Skinner does, he gets down low. And so it opens up, the top, because it seems like that's where Rantanen's been shooting, Granlund's been shooting, Robo's been shooting up there. I think whether it's Jeff Reese pointing it out or not, goalie coach for the Stars, but it seems to be an automatic where they want to go. I saw a couple times Rantanen so far hasn't been super happy with that he hasn't hit it. Like he's trying to go over that glove, and I saw one the other night too. I think it was in the game the other night where he took that shot and it went right into Skinner's glove, and he kind of came across and he was tapping the ice, kind of mad at himself, and he missed his spot.
And I think Skinner, too, was back in the net. We mentioned that, first of all. If you look at that, he's back in his net a little bit.
Deep, which opens up more holes.
And that's why we want to see more guys in front of him setting up that screen and pushing
to keep him back.
Keep him honest, right?
That didn't take long for Waddle to respond.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I just saw.
Oh, so he's listening. Thanks, Wads.
Our line discussion made the show. Love it.
Bing bang.
All right, super chat here. We have Christopher writing in with a Brendan Smith and the year after the cup. Can you wish my son Alexander a happiest
hour birthday?
Happy 10th birthday to Alexander.
Let's get Alex, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alexander.
The happiest hour. Happy birthday. Then they do have towers of beer.
Where's 53? Somebody said. Texas Ranger 5.
Yep, that's Wyatt. Future captain, but is a ghost?
Pete said not to what?
We got another super chat here. JT with a Haskin and 99 cup here. Pete said not to respond to the Bouchard / per ESPN. Actually, that was Steve Spott that was interviewed by Kaplan. I heard that. How does he look at these physical / aggressive cup winning teams and say playing soft is good? Well, we talked about this before. There's a difference between not doing anything and also picking your times and not just chasing guys around the ice.
Yeah, and the coach is never going to say we're going to get them. Just like Florida. Florida was waiting for their opportunity to get retribution in that game, and they finally got it. But you don't say it. That's the first thing that these guys said, Luds' team in 99, is you don't say stuff to the media at all. Zero. Everything is just peachy keen, and that's it. That's it. I remember them coming in throughout each series and saying, hey, you don't say anything. It's so important, isn't it, Luds?
Play between the whistles, go about our business. And you know what? And that's really, Sevy, because they're going to find out about it. They're going to hear, the referees are going to hear, hey, this is what they're talking about. Now, all of a sudden, they keep an eye out. Yep. So if you're going to say anything, say, no, that's not our game. We don't do that. But I'll tell you what, that Bouchard one, to me, that seems like right in the middle of the ice, and it seems pretty obvious. I don't know how all four, well, not that the linesmen are going to call anything, but it just seems like, and there's always one referee behind, one ahead. I mean, that's right in the middle of the ice.
It was pretty blatant, wasn't it?
But it was baby-ish. You know what I mean? It wasn't a heavy chop. It was just a little, hey, how you doing? So I don't think you're going to get the call on that one. You thought there should be a call, Lutz, on that?
I thought
there could be, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's purposeful. You know what I mean? And you're targeting, with all the conversation.
Danger,
I thought it was kind of ballsy of Bouchard to go
after that. Yeah.
What do we got, John?
The other goal. Tell me what to go get.
Oh, is this the power play goal?
Yes.
Yeah. This is, for me, it's going to be just the CC thing. Pause it right there. Pause it right here. So the first thing is, I would say that here, especially where he pauses his feet, he's got to get down here. So if you want to, who is that? Is that Wyatt? No.
That's back, I think.
What's Harley doing up there? Look at Harley. Is that Harley up there? Mm-hmm. We're playing man-on-man, Jordan. Yeah, see, we don't collapse. First off, and that's a good look there, John. Go back a little bit.
Can I just do like pass to pass to make it easier for myself? Like
whatever you want to do, pause it right there. I want this guy and this guy to collapse down to here, and I want him to lay down, like right there, instead of one knee, because he opens up a little bit of hole. If he lays down, it gives those two guys more time to get back.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Good enough. Oh, look at this thing. Look at them drawing on this. What are they doing? Who's talking through this?
Showing Corey's pattern. Or no, that's Hopkins.
Bing bang.
Oh, we got another super chat here. Let's see. Key with a Haskin and 99. Guys.
He gets too high. Oh, that's Wyatt, not Harley. I thought that was Harley.
Do you think Pete is having a good series behind the bench? So this is a question about the Stars coach.
It's so funny when you're not winning, right?
Yeah, I know.
Again, I've seen what they do and how they do it. It's so in-depth, man. And they've gone through everything we've talked about here. They've done it 20 times plus things that we haven't even talked about. But yeah, obviously, if they're not winning hockey games, right, they're not doing something right, or do you put it on the guys for not executing?
See,
That's
I think if I take the question right, it would be, is he making changes? Is he changing anything to, and so, which in circumstances like this, are you able to find a couple guys to put them together on another line? And I think Pete's having a hard time because the players are having a hard time.
Yeah.
And we're not really finding anybody. I don't know what player right now up front. If you were asking me in the first round, I mean, Stevie Wonder could see this one. I mean, Rantanen was the guy that stands out, right?
Yep.
I mean, so, but can you pick a forward that pops for you in this round at all? It's hard to say double this guy up. We're in the first round we were saying, 11-7 is fine because it gets Rantanen more ice.
Right.
I don't know if that even would help right now. It doesn't. And a lot of credit has to go to the opponent sometimes too. Like they're doing a good job keeping him on the outside and taking away good areas of the ice. But I'm trying to think of a guy that you would say he needs to play more. Maybe the guy is Robo right now because, and again, he's got back-to-back games, goals. He seems to have a little jump now because he scored.
That's a good one.
Maybe he's the guy that you got to find to start doubling.
We have another one from Marshall second.
Bing bang.
Haskin in 99. If Luds and Sevy are playing in this game, what are they saying or doing in locker room right now?
I'd be like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm not supposed to be playing. But go ahead, Luds. There's no fighting. I'm out.
Well, I'd be going, well, I'm going to have most of the third period off. We're trailing. I'm not going out there. So, yeah, I know. I think you're just trying to be positive. I mean, again, I think you're trying to relay to everything that we've said. Like there's no reason to be down here. I mean, it's a 1-goal game, and we've had our opportunities. I'd be saying too, let's get more traffic in front of the goaltender. And I'm not opposed to if you get on the right side. In other words, if you've got Bouchard in front of you and you're standing in front of Skinner and Bouchard backs into you, I'm not opposed to grabbing his jersey and falling over backwards and pulling him on top of me on top of the goaltender.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think you make it difficult and you have to sell it. I mean, somehow you have to find a way. And again, they may, bury a couple behind Skinner right now, but I think you got to find a way to make him a little bit more uncomfortable, whatever that is. And again, you don't want to take a penalty and put yourself but somehow, the guy seems to be in his own, and Jake's not playing bad. I'm just saying that guy's been pretty good. He's on a bit of a roll right now.
And what happens is usually guys are just giving little kind of quick little bursts of something, right? You think about it. Guys are undressed, walking around, somebody chirping in. Here we go, boys. Let's get the puck there. Let's go.
Yep.
No one's giving a long, drawn out speech right now.
No lectures going
no
on.
lectures going on, but someone, let's get there. Jake's going, maybe I'll keep you in, boys. I'll stop this. You guys go get the next one. I'll do the rest. It's like stuff like that.
I mean, again, I think our group was heavy. Would have said, let's get pucks to the net. We're going to go there. I mean, we're going to create a mess down there. So, don't necessarily look for the pretty play all the time, because a lot of time the way that you've been seeing how they play with 5 guys in, I mean, they're all literally below the hash marks at times.
Yep.
They're not allowing that kind of stuff. So, you got to get a little dirtier apparently.
Do the players that have been talking about being a calm, collected group all season, all playoff series, they feeling this desperation in the third period down a goal? Knowing what 2-2 versus 3-1 is at stake?
I don't know if there should be desperation.
Or are you just trying to play hockey at this point?
Yeah, of course you know that. I mean, your biggest enemy right now, well, not even right now, but you get past the 10-minute mark, your biggest enemy is the clock.
Yes.
So I think you're, again, like I said, we're saying direct things to the net, get bodies to the net, and we played it pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I don't think when I look at this, are they getting outplayed? I mean, do you feel that way? I don't feel like the ice is slanted.
No, I
don't feel like it's slanted.
I thought Edmonton balanced things more in the second period. Because if you look at the first period, it was really heavily in favor of the Stars, but they gave up the goal, right? On the power play, no less, right? Then the second period, it was kind of more balanced. The funny thing is that for all the possession Dallas had in the first, Edmonton had more high danger stuff.
Well, that's because the way they're playing in their own zone.
And in the second period, Dallas had more high danger stuff, but they were 1-1 in power play goals, and that's why it's still 2-1 Oilers after 2. I thought Edmonton would sort of balance the scales a little bit in the second. You agree? Disagree? Is it all just about special teams at this point?
And I think the Stars are doing a lot of good things still. Do you know what I mean? That's if they're in the room right now, that's what they're saying. Just keep going. And I think if you look at the game as a whole, I think the Stars have played better in just overall. And they're maybe a little bit more push in the second by the Oilers.
But, by the way, what do we got here?
By the way, they're showing, hey, Luds, there's your favorite bit, the Evander Kane vehicle
what
of
did
the
he come
day.
in today?
It's like a Lamborghini SUV.
That's the one he had last game.
Is that right?
They won last game. That's why he brought the same car back.
Superstition.
Yeah, he was driving a Ferrari, then a Bentley, and then they lost game. What game did they lose? Game one?
Lost game one.
Game one, and then
Rolls Royce?
I think he brought the Rolls Royce maybe, and then switched or something like that. I don't know, big dog.
Luds, would you like to take a look at the Corey Perry goal?
Well, John, if you would like us to take a look, I think we should take a look. So this is the go-ahead goal so far in the power play. And what I see here is I first look at the forwards. First, this is Wyatt over here. I think Wyatt sometimes gets too high, and he gets outside the tops of the circles. It's difficult to recover back and help. So, but when the puck comes down low, as a defenseman, I would prefer here CC doesn't stand up. I think if he lays down here, he buys time for, I think Harley is, did we say Harley was the other guy out there? No.
Or is that Essa Lindell to the
Yeah,
left?
it's Essa. And I think whoever the other forward
Oscar
is,
Beck.
it buys a little more time.
It's Beck.
Who was it?
Oscar Beck.
Okay.
In the middle.
So it buys Beck and Essa time to get back to the net. But when he goes down on one knee like this, there's a crack in there somewhere, obviously, because it makes it through. But if you lay down here, the puck carrier has to slow up and look for something else. And he may have to pull it to his right-hand side and try to get around. But in that time, he gets down here. And then the other thing I would say, I prefer to play not on the close post, because when a puck does get through, it's an empty netter like this. So you can kind of back off on this a little bit, and that also buys a little time. So again, it's always easier to pick them apart when the goal goes in the net. It's different when you're out there in real time. But just in general, I think when you have 2-on-1s like this, you have to remember a 5-on-4 is really a 5-on-5, because your goaltender matters. And so you just leave him the lesser high percentage shot, which is coming off the line there. It's not like this is a right-handed shooter that has the puck. This is Nugent Hopkins, correct?
Yep.
Is that who it was?
Yep.
If it's a right-handed shooter, then
it's
the
different.
angle changes a little bit more. But where the puck is out here, this is a save that Jake would probably make. Got anything to add to that?
Yeah, well, the first thing is, as a
Mouth
defenseman,
garbage
no,
or
it
whatever,
was
what's
right.
It called? Word
It was perfect.
salad or something
Word
like that?
salad
Word
is the
salad.
nice way to put it. Yep.
But you got to think of a 2-on-1 is really, as you just said, a 2-on-2, because the
Yeah,
goaltender.
people don't think of it that way, do they?
I did all the time.
Yeah.
And I am trying to make a forward think. If I can make a forward think, they're screwed, because they don't think. They just want to score. And off to the right there, that is the least dangerous of this situation, is keeping him to the right of Ottinger. And as you mentioned, he's a left shot, so it's a more difficult shot to make. So you're right, lads. I personally would have played it back instead of going down like this, because you want to make sure that puck does not come across, which it did. And you're saying if he's going to go lay down a little bit, yes. So,
it's harder to get it through the whole
correct.
body.
Yeah, he's got a saucer over you, which makes it more difficult.
And that's almost a good thing. If you want to try to saucer that thing over and land it on
have
the
at
tape, the puck probably ends up in the corner. It's the same thing with 2-on-1s. Like, you hold your ice and you make that forward think a little bit more, their feet don't stop. And what I mean by that is their body keeps taking them lower and lower, getting closer and closer to the bottom of the circle. So their shooting angle is getting worse. And they're running out of room because their feet the longer you can keep a forward with the puck, guessing if he can get it across, not only is the shooting angle, but you're also buying time because if it's a 2-on-1,
you're just trying to delay as long as you can.
Yeah,
to
someone
get
made
back
a mistake,
pressure.
right? If it's a 2-on-1, somebody made a mistake. You're trying to buy time for somebody to get back in there. So the longer you can keep him on the outside and kind of with his feet moving down lower and lower, you're giving time to somebody to get in. Plus, he's getting into a worse shooting angle.
And it's funny, lads, when I play against the kids now, and we're talking, the 23, 24-year-old, like kids that play in the Fed League or the East Coast League, what I do is I just give them that ice.
Yep.
And they start to think and try to get creative, and it just blows up on them every time.
And it's
Right?
almost
And
like
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know
Owen.
exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
It's
they
great.
just run out of room
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, John, go down to the bottom of the chat. JC asked a question about what Luds was just Luds and Sevy were just diagramming. I believe it was, why wasn't anyone on Perry?
Well, that's what I mean. Is I think Essa gets too high on that, and both of them are too high. And even still, but again, they have a certain system, the way that they like to kill. I'm not sure what it is, but it's totally different than what we see Edmonton doing. I mean, you see all blue jerseys in front of their goaltender here, and they're trying to keep you on the outside, and they're trying to make you try to shoot through somebody. So, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you get spread out, and that's what happens. There's
Well,
too
power
much
play
open ice.
too. Power play. There's always one guy going to be open.
Yep.
That's just the way it is, and you're trying to play a zone kind of thing where you're moving the puck where you want it to go at the least advantage, or at least a disadvantage for them in an area in the ice that's less dangerous.
Right.
And that's really what you did,
Yeah.
and that's what they did there. Except unfortunately, it went through to Corey Perry, who was the dangerous guy on that side.
Yeah, and I like to think of it as penalty killers should move like when one player goes down, the next player goes down, and think about it as if there was a rope tied to all four players. So when one goes, the other one pulls into a position, then that guy goes, he gets pulled into a spot.
Oh boy.
What a stick by Miro.
Yep.
So 20 seconds into the third period and a turnover leads to a 2-on-1. That might be a little early to get caught like that, Luds,
Well,
right?
I think we were just kind of talking about
Yeah.
that. There's no reason to open up the game right now.
And here they go on a 2-on-1 with Draisaitl literally to start the period.
Is there any way I can blame a forward on that, not getting it deep? I'd like to if we could have another look at it.
You know, and this is what Edmonton's going to do for, I would believe, for the most of the period, is they're going to try to make Dallas go 200 feet. If they don't see an outnumbered rush when they get into the neutral zone and get to the offensive blue line, they're just going to make sure that the pucks are going to be in deep and they'll
Right.
get into their structure through the neutral zone. Not like they're going to sit back, but they're just going to make sure that they're not turning pucks over in the neutral zone.
Yeah, in their dressing room, they're saying third guy high, make sure everybody's back, taking care of the neutral zone. Yeah, you're going to still forecheck, but we're not going to press.
And they're also on top of that, they're saying as the clock ticks down, they're the ones that have to take chances.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, that's where our focus will be on picking some of that off and outnumbered rushes going the other way.
Nugent Hopkins again.
I don't know if that Nugent Hopkins shot made it to the net.
That was not a high danger chance.
It was certainly not.
Good play. That's a nice play. That's Harley being an offensive-minded defenseman, knowing exactly that McDavid wants to use that between the stick and feet move. Just be aware, Thomas. Next time he'll try something different.
Good stick.
Oh, see, that's coverage. Like there's no way that he should be loose coming down the slot. Tyler, stop skating. Good save by Jake.
Oh, there we go. God, Edmonton just sections off like a third of the ice.
Yeah.
You got nowhere to go. Like
Right.
every guy was off on this to the right side of Skinner. Stars had nowhere to go. Ooh.
Oh. That was his left knee, his left leg up against the boards right there.
That was a bomb.
That was a bit of a bomb, wasn't it?
Looked like you put all of it in that one, didn't it?
This is where we need a Mike Keane goal, right? Or a Carbo goal, or, you know, a guy that's just fighting it out in front.
Yeah. Or an Oscar Beck goal.
Mm-hmm.
That one didn't quite make the net. Made the netting. So when you see a team structurally make the offensive zone smaller, their D zone, right? They're literally cutting off the ice, and they're trying to make it as tight for the offense to do anything. What do you do to try to open up that space? Is it just moving the puck faster and cleaner?
What they do now in the NHL is rim the puck along the boards. They move it from one side to the other. And it's like, think of the defensive coverage like an accordion. You're trying to pull it out, and then it's going to contract. And then you go from one, as the puck moves from one side to the other. I think that's one of the things that you could do is try that. And I think the Stars have been trying.
Because then those 5 guys are all going to switch over to the other side, and that's when you come back again.
Yep,
correct.
Right. If you can get their little pack moving side to side, but again, it's about having more numbers in areas. And whoops.
Oh, well,
yeah, Steele wasn't even ready for that.
There you go.
That's a good job by Steele tracking back there, though.
Mm-hmm.
That turns that 3-on-2 into 3-on-3. Like that's kind of what Sevy's talking about.
Yep.
They use the boards.
Just stretch, go low to high.
They open it up.
Yep.
Dump it in.
Yeah, they're
kind of sort of chase it, and then
you keep looking. The clock is going tick, 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 and
oh boy.
And then you kind of start to, the team trailing. They want to try to press a little bit more, and if you play good structure, it turns over and outnumbered rush the other way.
Stars haven't hit the net yet this period. But Robo does, I'm not just saying it's because he scored. He does look like he's progressing a little bit.
This series, he's been more aggressive, I thought.
Which is a good sign, right?
Whether it's getting to the net, whether it's getting to his check.
So what do you think on Rantanen right now? Obviously he was on a superhuman level, but he
probably set his bar really too high for himself.
Think so?
You know what I mean? Like everybody thought he was going to score 2 goals a night. I mean, he hasn't scored in 6 games now?
So
there's the one he just missed.
I think he's getting a little frustrated because he can't hit.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He can't hit what he wants to hit. He's getting a couple opportunities here and there, but again, as you move on from round to round, it should get harder. It should get tighter.
There's your stat right there, Luds.
What do we got?
6
What did I
plus.
say?
Yep. So he hasn't in the last 6 playoff games had a goal. Now this is going into a 7th. I mean, he has said on more than one occasion he is naturally a setup guy. He's a passer.
Yeah, yeah.
But then obviously pulls the trigger and shoots a little bit more.
Mikkorantanen is 7th on the team in shot attempts.
7th.
7th, yeah. So he's been dishing more than he's been putting pucks toward the net, or at least trying to.
Who's at the top of the list?
Matt Duchene.
You're talking shot attempts.
Shot attempts. Shot attempts.
Yeah, he's had a hard time getting pucks through.
Yeah, 8 total shots in this series is all he's had.
What is it?
8 shots to the net for Mikko Rantanen. Nice.
See, that outnumbered rush starts with Bischel trying to stay up a little bit there.
And
It's
then
good
saves his own
recovery, though.
bacon, yeah.
Yeah, it's good recovery from him.
Oh,
Well, how do you sneak out of
boy.
there?
How does he get through that?
Bischel really, when he's playing man on man, he plays man on man. He's still got a lasso around somebody over there.
Speaking of lasso, a lot of tackling going on out there
Yeah.
now. Yeah, lads, as a player, when you're in this situation as the Stars are, that clock moves so
Doesn't it?
fast. So
You
it
look
just,
up and
yeah.
you take a shift and like 3 minutes is gone. Like, what the hell
That's
happened here?
right.
But on the other side of things,
Oh.
you're like, wait, I thought we were, there should be, we're at 14 or
Yeah,
15. I
yeah.
thought it would be down to 7 or 8 now. And it's not a good thing, if you're an Edmonton
Uh-oh.
fan. Well, this is a different kind of
Look at the
cat.
feet
I
moving.
can talk about this, yeah.
Well, CC
Talk
played
about
his
driving
position
people
well.
back. Look at that.
Good save, Jake. Boy, he gets those feet moving. You can just feel the nerves go up.
Especially when you look and you see the Stars defense at the blue line, and he is at the,
Yeah,
between the red
Yeah,
line and
red
their
line,
blue
yeah.
line, and you're just like, you can hear the whole crowd pick it up, eh?
just
Yeah.
winding it up.
I think this game has got overtime written all over it. That's what I think.
I wouldn't be against that.
Corey Perry, playoff career, 230 games, more than any team ever since. Any team. Don't they mean any player? Corey Perry's played 230 games, more than any team. What does that mean?
I think it means that no NHL team has had that many playoff games since 2000. So he has more,
he's got more than any
individually than
combined
any
team.
one team
Oh, okay.
has. Yeah, one franchise, I guess.
Yeah, okay. All
That's
right.
that's how I would read that. Anyway.
That would be correct.
The difference. I mean, this is again kind of an obvious
He's gone
statement.
to the
but
finals. What did we say the other day? Is it 5 times? Has he gone to the finals 5
I
times
think
in
it's
a row
5.
now?
Yeah,
Not in a row.
not in a row.
Not
but
in a row.
in the last like 6 or 7
Yeah.
years. Yeah. But this is a big difference from chasing 2-1 versus remember in game 3 where they went into the third period down 3-1. I know it seems so obvious, but you're looking for one bounce,
Yep,
not
yep.
2.
Bischel's had a couple nice passes, up
Yep.
the ice.
Nice stick.
Oh, who was that?
That would be the big moose.
Was it? Nice.
So, Sevy, as you watch Bischel's progression this year, knowing he's still just a
Except
rookie,
he can't stand up sometimes. He's still.
knowing that a lot of, I mean, everybody says defenders take years to
Yep.
learn the NHL. Are you pretty encouraged by what you see from him?
Well, yeah, but he's out of. We still see him out of position.
Yes.
We still see the timing aspect of him chasing a little bit. That calmness that you get as a veteran defenseman, right, Luds? That
Yeah.
just be calm about it. But he gets a little bit happy feet out there and takes a digger or overplays an area. But yeah, of course, big guy like that, strong.
And knowing what he could potentially
Oh my
learn,
gosh,
right?
yeah. He's just going to get better. And he looks like he's got a little bit of, not cocky kid, but confident, I guess, kid.
I think
But he's got a little edge to him
he's
that
got
way.
an edge to him for sure.
I just hope that he can listen and learn, those kind of kids. Like a Brendan Dillon. You remember
Yep.
Brendan?
Oh,
He
I
listened-
love him.
He listened to everything.
I never understood him moving.
Yeah.
I just thought he's exactly what you're looking for here. Even today, I mean, when you watch him play. But, yeah,
Yep. Everybody wants it now or has to change something, right?
See, now that you got to make pay. You got to, maybe not.
No, but you're right. A turnover at their own blue line, not getting the puck out.
Look at them. They're not forcing anything.
Nope.
They're making them go 200 feet. But if they give up pockets like this in the neutral zone where they can at least get in with possession.
I'm actually surprised Edmonton forecheck with 2 guys there.
Well, they were changing.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking,
fair.
They're even like that play right there. They're making sure that they don't get blocked. You know, they're going to make sure that you don't block it and it goes the other way. It's just
I thought he was going to throw it in the corner.
Yeah.
We got a media timeout here in period number 3.
Time for more cheese.
Oh, I know what I was trying to find out.
So 13. About 4 minutes of game action without a shot on goal from inside a zone. There were 2 registered from the red line, which barely count. But that's
both teams.
both teams. 4 minutes just kind of clogging things up, right? Corey Perry's chance from the slot, that grade A was the last one. Yep. Yeah, they have Kapanen from 80 feet, Podkolzin from 98. I mean, that's just, those are dump ins from the red line. But Granlund had that shot that he missed the net from distance. It's exactly what Edmonton wants right now, is just clock running and not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, and they're hoping that Dallas will eventually start to open up a little too soon, and and then there's a crack there, and try to take advantage of an outnumbered rush. I didn't see Rupe out there that much. Did I? Was he out there?
He was out there, yeah.
Okay, I didn't see
He took a spill in the corner.
To answer your question, T from the 203, this is the first media timeout, and it took all the way till till 9:20 to go. So they still have 2 more potentially. Just happens when the whistle blows, I think, because there was an icing, and then about 4 minutes of clock running.
You follow Twitter at all, Luds? Do you look at Twitter?
I don't know. I'm just looking at all the
I know, it just
all
looks-
positive polys on here.
Yes, everyone's feeling very good
That's
right
where
now.
I was going.
It's that good juju that's being sent out.
Yes, right?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Skinner was going the wrong way, too.
See, I said Rantanen in front of the net. That's who we had there
Yeah.
on that particular play.
Couldn't see because of the camera angle. I was curious how close Robo was on that wrap on the far post, if there was any room there, because it looked like when he got it, Skinner was going this way, and Robo was coming the other way around.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from this side.
It is, isn't it?
They've been getting the stretch pass now, Luds, for the Stars.
Oh yeah.
But then as soon as they enter the blue line, it's just dies. Late guy. No. Oh.
Thomas was, or no, that wasn't Thomas. That was that Harley out there? Yeah, he was kind of cheating up a little bit. Yeah, they're going to start creeping here in the next couple minutes, though. Get down there around 4. This is when, if you get down into that 4-minute mark, you're in one of these kind of games that you win it, you tie it up. If you you go down 3-1. When do you actually pull the goalie? Like, you got to have some stones as a coach in the playoffs to get to the finals. And, where they like to pull it at 3 minutes, or are you going to wait a little bit longer, round to 2.5? And
DeBoer always said is whether they're creating scoring chances 5-on-5. If they're not, then he'll pull them early. If they are, then
Right.
pull them now.
this is where we are.
What are the shots this period, Owen?
I believe it was 8-2 Edmonton.
Yeah, and isn't that funny? And Edmonton's not even doing anything. It doesn't feel like they're doing anything,
really
right?
doesn't.
9-2 now.
That just means Skinner's sleeping.
There's Miro, the push.
Oh,
Wow.
my
Great
gosh.
save.
I think that hit him. That's good position, Jake. Who was that took that shot?
Kane.
High danger there, Owen.
I believe that
Yeah, I
would
think
count
that
as that,
counts,
Sev.
right?
Thanks for checking, though.
I'm just
So
hopping on
if
the
you
Luds.
have a fourth liner that gets that same shot that has 2 goals in the year, is it still considered high danger? Do you not take into account the guy that's actually shooting it?
I do.
You do take into that
You
account?
do?
Sometimes. Depends on
Okay.
how, especially when it's further out.
Well,
right?
yeah,
Like
but I mean,
Alex
do you
Ovechkin
take
on
into
a-
account
On a one-timer
of
from
a
the...
player ever?
I try, sometimes, yes. If there's a guy that has a bomb like Bouchard and he claps one from above the top of the circle, I still think that's dangerous.
No, I'm thinking the other way.
You're talking about closer to the net.
No. I'm talking about a fourth line guy. Like a fourth line guy gets a shot from in the hash mark area or just above the top of the circle. Let's say top
Like in the slot, or
is it still considered high danger to you? And McDavid
from the
again,
top of the
anytime
circle, or are you
McDavid
talking
shoots
about like Kane's shot from the
just
slot there?
let's just say you're a typical high danger area. If it's a fourth line guy, would you still call it a high danger shot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No. What I would say is,
That's
I
a yes, no.
no. I understand what you're asking.
I get more
I won't-
confused every show.
I
I'll
won't-
be going to
no,
be
no,
honest
no.
with you, Owen.
I
get
won't take
confused.
away from a fourth liner in a good position, but I might give a little extra credit to a high end scorer from a little bit less.
How do you give what's higher than high danger?
No,
when
no,
you
no,
say
no.
you give them extra credit.
No, I'm saying I might take a regular scoring chance and elevate it to a high, like a little farther away for a guy who's a great scorer might be more
Well,
dangerous.
so then you do that.
Yeah, but I don't
Okay.
take it away from a guy. Meaning, I'm not going to say a fourth liner from the top of the crease isn't a high danger chance. Does that make sense? Probably
Yeah.
not. It's okay.
I just got thirsty.
I think I just lost this here. Come on.
Come on, folks, liven up the chat a little bit. Little positivity. Send out some hearts or send out a bunch of beer mugs. Send some beer emojis out here.
In the chat, Luds wants to see your beer emojis.
Uplifting. Sagan is the fourth liner. That's not,
That doesn't sound very
making
positive.
$10 million. That's not his fault. $20 million against cap. Oh, there we go. There's one.
What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I just see a bunch of beer mugs. There we go. See, let's see if that helps. There we go. Look at him coming now. Now I'm getting thirsty. There, and they just happen to be showing Rantanen now.
Kayla's topless, Luds.
Look at this. See? Karma.
Penalty on Granlund.
Oh, God.
And Edmonton 2 for 2 on the power play so far.
That's just bad luck.
That's
just bad luck.
He was reaching
All
around
he's trying to
get the
do
puck.
is get
Yeah.
a stick on the puck.
It sucks, but it's totally accidental.
There you go, Luds. There's positivity. Good game. Season over. That's it. I'm taking off my pants. Cooked.
Hang on. I see a shorty coming.
Allie said, if I ever hear another Oilers fan complain that reffing is out to get them.
Who's taking the draw? Who was that?
Draisaitl.
No, I meant for
It
us.
looks like Blackwell.
It was Blackwell.
Yep.
Is he out there with Steele? He must be out there with Steele, right?
It looks like it. Yep.
I'm gonna do shit.
Oh, and you said 2 for 2 tonight, right?
Yep.
Edmonton's thinking, don't miss the net wide and don't let a shot get blocked.
Well, he does. He scores that a fair amount, doesn't he? Draisaitl.
That's not his spot. This is his spot.
Jake was there in a hurry this time.
Jake
eh?
was waiting on it that time.
He was way over. Watch when you see it. Watch how far over he was to his left. He was there, and he was there in a hurry.
And he generally goes high over the shoulder there. Oh, this is that. Oh, that's the one he scored last time right there. I don't know. Jake might have had that. Wait, Edmonton?
Edmonton wants to score this power play.
Well, that kind of makes it challenging if Dallas wants to take a timeout. You're just going to end up giving them a rest. A minute to go. Naz is drawn a take off, Wyatt.
Yeah, go away. Well, Garrett said Granlund out of the box will tie it.
Yeah.
All right. I like it, Garrett. Thank you for being positive.
There's some positivity in
That's
there.
one over.
There we go.
Well, 50.
Osler with, I'm hoping Wyatt for game tying goal.
That's what I said. I said Wyatt's going to take off. And
If Granlund scores out the box, too, we get to hear the Luds Anaheim out the box story again. My favorite.
Oh, I love that one. That is one of my favorite Ludscapades. Brian says, every time I see Gulletson, I get PTSD from the bankruptcy era.
I remember the day.
Yep.
Of course, it didn't help Gully that they also had a partial lockout during that season.
Everything was wrong for the team at that point. That was tough.
Was Newey the GM then?
Yep.
Yes.
I said to Newey one day, I said, yeah, here, they want you to be a GM and then put handcuffs on you and you don't have any money to improve the team.
They were trying to spend to the floor, I think. There was to get Eric Nystrom, I think. They had to wait back when they had re-entry waivers because they couldn't claim him initially because they needed his full cap hit, not his cheaper one. I believe there was something about that just to get to the salary floor. Come a long way that regard.
Yep.
All right, 5-on-5 again.
Yep.
Wyatt's out there. Deflected. And they'll have a media timeout, I think, here, right? Yep. So there you go. So we'll have 2.5 to play. Offensive zone face-off out of a timeout here. So this is like a timeout for both teams. And Luds is on his way to refill. Oh, pardon me. It's just amazing how much Edmonton has been able to slow things down for the Stars offensively in the third after, I mean, again, first period, Dallas was buzzing. I mean, that's an insane number for one period for both teams. It's just, that's just usually first period's about here. So like that's the amount of activity in that first period. And then there hasn't been a lot here this period. A couple of good chances.
And that's what happens when you get the lead, right? It's that chip in, and then you have to chase it, turn and go. Let's talk about 200 feet. Yep. You send a guy back, take care of your own zone. Stars try to dump it in, they break it out and go. And that's just, it's been over and over in the third period, right?
And Edmonton at this point does not care how boring it is.
No.
Right?
Or to their fans.
No.
They're loving it.
And how different, I mean, again, I know that McDavid said after the Vegas series, he was all frustrated about, yes, we know how to play defense, but at the same time, it's very different from those early Edmonton teams that were all run and gun and couldn't defend at all. They definitely
didn't put it as high priority, right?
Yes.
Give it to our top guys, get them going. We're going to use that as our advantage. Gunslinger mentality.
But Dallas only needs one. That being said, they got to get one.
I don't see too much victory green in that crowd. Or
I agree. Yeah, it's just maybe there's a couple in there.
Did you see a couple? Did they show them, I imagine? Okay, let's just watch and see what happens here.
Well, that didn't last very long. Empty netter for the Oilers. And there goes the microphone.
Open netter.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
He just went for the fly pattern. Well, they're going to have to pull Jake again because they're down 2. Nope, doesn't matter if they lose 3-1 or 6-1. So that faceoff was Wyatt against Draisaitl. They won it back, flipped it out, got the empty netter.
Oh, there's Tripp.
I believe the referees have swallowed their whistles there, Luds. High stick. Looks like Rantanen is pretty upset that he didn't get a call there and in the game itself, but they just showed him on the bench looking rather upset.
It's just a lot of hair. Okay. Just a lot of hair in that helmet. It's hot.
Sorry, Sev, I ain't feeling a comeback. Ain't feeling it.
No, this thing is.
Minute to go. Well, there's that.
Yeah, would Dallas generate 3 shots, you said? I think that's what they showed on the game sheet. In that
the
third period.
period, so far they have 3 shots to 13. Not a lot of danger from Edmonton, but just nothing. They just locked it down.
Well, shoot.
Well, the Stars are going to have to come back from a 3-1 hole, which is doable, but certainly seems like a massive hill to climb. And we might be seeing a rematch, right? Do you think that the Hurricanes have it in them to come from 3-0 down? Or is, I mean, I'm not saying the Stars are out of it yet, but the percentages are saying Florida Edmonton for the second time.
Still got to play it, though.
Still got to play it.
Still gotta
Right.
play it.
Stars aren't out. That's it's a tough one again.
You're sure not sounding positive, though.
Yeah. This is not an Edmonton Oilers show, so we're going to
That's right. Well, 2 games in a row, it feels like the Stars outplayed the Oilers, but they didn't win the special teams battle. And I don't know if I feel like I
don't think they threatened in any of these.
I don't
right?
think Jake
Threatened to
Ottinger
win the
got
game.
massively outplayed. They didn't do enough
They didn't.
to make Skinner's
I don't
life
know how
harder.
many games you walk away going, man, they should have won this game.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know how you word that differently, but did they get what they deserved?
I mean, I guess because they gave up the power play goals, but I mean,
Well, those count too.
Stars had plenty of chances. They didn't find a way to get to the back of the net. So, well, some people are feeling that this is it, but we still got more to go. We have a full post-game show coming up. And so with that, a huge thank you to the guy who made a fairly decent dent in the meat and cheese platter. And and also
had some to take home for the ride.
Also he brought a heck of a lot to our watch along. Sevy,
not a good record though. My record has not been good. So
I don't think you affected it much.
No, I know I'm not, but I'm going to just take the blame for where I can.
Some people want to send Pete DeBoer into the sun already. That's tough, but yep, okay. Well, we're going to get ready to do our post-game show. We will be here. Sam will be in Edmonton. He'll report after his media availabilities are all done. And huge thanks to Sev for coming in tonight.
Yeah, good luck in the post-game, fellas.
Yeah, thanks.
We're not going home. We're not going home!
We all silly like the mayor.